DIYers, 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 we are wired. How you doing? Late night streams.
Yeah.
The second episode of the Really Indie podcast. Of course, I got the homie Trizz.
Really indie though. No, I'm really indie though.
Really indie though. Wait a minute. Speaking of which, hold on, let me turn your microphone up. Speaking of which,
Yeah.
you know, shout out to the homie Stolen Drums.
Stolen drums, what up?
Come on, hold on. Let me hold on.
La 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 la.
It's premiere time. It's
Shit.
premiere time. How about we run a song? It's funny. This is the second episode of the Really Indie podcast. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in wherever you're at. Probably laying in bed somewhere. It's late night on the East Coast. Whatever it is, we appreciate you being here and rewatching or even watching this live. But
Yeah.
we got a new song that we're getting ready to start dropping content for tomorrow.
Yeah.
But it's called Really Indie though.
Really indie.
And Trizz, before I start asking you questions about this song, I'm gonna just play this shit because I want them to get, we've been working. We've been here working. Really indie though.
Hey.
Produced by Gemini.
Bitch, I'm really indie though. Bitch, I'm really indie though. Bitch, I'm really indie though. Yes, I'm really indie though. You could not reach me on your tippy toes. Somebody stop me, bitch, I'm finna blow. Whoa. Bitch, I'm really indie though. Bitch, I'm really indie though. Bitch, I'm really indie though. Yes, I'm really indie though. I ran a bag up on them physicals. Then got it back, then I did the most. I am not a household name, but I rent a home. My 9 to 5 consists of making songs that are spiritual. I used to make music inside a bedroom that was minimal. And down in California off a Lakewood in Imperial. I didn't have a budget, so it must have been a miracle. I did it with no corruption, and to me that point is pivotal. 20 years deep, and see, I still ain't reached my pinnacle. Making indie look good, I'm a DIY centerfold. Please pull out your camera. This my picture pose. Seen rappers get signed because the grind was too difficult. Don't pay me no mind, that longer route was so intentional. It was all a design, and that's why I can sell these physicals. I'm really indie out my pockets even when it's slow. My money low, but now my palms feeling itchy though. I took my music off that streaming with a fishing pole. I took a stand and they can't stand, I ran up intervals, I've been a go. Bitch, I'm really indie though. Bitch, I'm really indie though. Bitch, I'm really indie though. You could not reach me on your tippy toes. Somebody stop me, bitch, I'm finna blow. Whoa. Bitch, I'm really indie though. Bitch, I'm really indie though. Bitch, I'm really indie though. Yes, I'm really indie though. I ran a bag up on them physicals. Then got it back, then I did the most.
Hey, I'm really indie though. The grind is really in me, bro. All this money I'm getting, I done got plenty hoes. I bought a whip and some chronic selling these physicals. You doubt it, bitch, I'm bout it. I'm really down to get physical. Yeah, they on my dick like the doctor at a physical. Yeah, effortlessly spitting this gospel, my shit is spiritual. I'm trying to get me $1, fuck being lyrical. I'm climbing to the highest, the heights till I reach my pinnacle.
Yeah,
I was down to risk it all, I took it far. I was down to starve, I walk when I ain't have a car. Straight up. I'm so out of this world, sitting on Mars. I wish upon a star to make me more than a star. Straight up, cause I'm destined to be a legend. The best is yet to come, I've been doing what they ain't expecting. I was broke, but I refused to accept it. Young, black, and talented, so niggas gon' respect it, nigga.
Bitch, I'm really indie though. Bitch, I'm really indie though.
come on now.
Yes, I'm really indie. You could not reach
Kind of
me
timing you on? Is that the kind of timing you on, Trizz?
Somebody stop me, bitch, I'm finna blow.
I'm very much on that time.
Bitch, I'm really
man.
indie though.
Really indie podcast. Really indie podcast.
Yes, I'm really indie. I ran a bag up on them physicals.
New music, new
Then got it
music.
back, then I did the most.
Of course, this will be on the new project. Hold on.
I'm independent. Don't nobody help me with shit. You don't help me with nothing.
Yeah.
And that's what being independent is.
Yeah.
That's what pisses me off about it. Like, independent is a lie. Like, you got me fucked up, nigga. Then come pay these bills.
So, as y'all know from the last episode that we did of this, first and foremost, welcome here, Trizz. Welcome back, Trizz.
What's up?
Welcome back to the platform.
We back, baby.
Look, come on, man. I know the description said, that we was gonna do this bi-weekly.
Yeah, you know how I go though.
You know your Uncle Elroy is the type of nigga said I get a little money, I wouldn't move out. But you know, I got a little money, I was gone.
We be busy though, man.
Well, you know what the difference is? What's interesting is that when we shot that on the 29th, for the first episode, you were the one that was really, really indie though, because you were actively, this was your #1 priority. It wasn't no content like me on a, content was still being prioritized because obviously that still to a certain degree pays the bills.
Yeah, for sure.
But it was inspiring to hear you talk about these things because it kind of gave me an idea of what to expect going back into this. But before we get into all that, because you said you got hella topics, I know I got hella topics because life has done some different. Life for sure has been like hitting like crazy.
Yeah, threw some curveballs.
My God, has it? But before that, bro, how you been in general, man? How has your life been? How's your indie life been and all that?
It's been a little rocky, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but at the end of the day, like, God don't give me nothing I can't handle. So
That part.
You know what I'm saying? But I've been really feeling good about my career and everything. You know what I mean? Being independent. I'm working on my new album with Mike Summers. Shout out to Mike Summers.
Shout out Mike Summers. Okay.
My last solo project was 2022. So
that was your last solo project?
Solo.
So you've been doing all kind of collaboration projects.
Yeah. I had just dropped the album with Ouija Mac.
That's
called,
right.
Cornella, and then I had dropped the project with my boy Vinny Marino earlier last year. So
what's kind of your perspective? Because it kind of makes me feel like maybe that was partly planned, but maybe that was partly a product of just like timing too, and that you around these folks and the opportunity presents itself, and it's like, yo, we should do something together.
Yeah, like a lot of it, like is I record so much music.
Yeah,
like I'm always going through shit, and I like to music to me, as I'm sure it is with you, is a diary for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like to get off my chest. I like to get shit off my chest and everything. And like I use, my music as my diary. So like I got so much music. I got so many albums done already.
Yeah.
Like and I also record for insurance. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
what do you mean when you say for insurance?
I'm not promised tomorrow.
So in the event, family can definitely continue on the conversation and the business.
Yeah. So a lot of that is important to me. So like, I record a lot. I got like anything can happen. Like I got into an accident in 2020. You feel me? I could have lost my voice. You know what I'm saying? So
damn.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was a bad accident too. I slid under a semi. So I take all that type of shit into perspective, and I thank God every day like that I have my talent. You know what I mean? And I don't take it for granted. So like I like to work a lot. You know what I'm saying? So within that, you know what I mean, I always got something in the chamber. If something was to happen to me today,
you got that
I got like 4 or 5 albums ready.
Say, you know damn. So you got so you building out your vault, man. You building out your vault, bro.
Yeah, for sure. I got songs that'll never come out until after I'm gone. That's a fact.
That's crazy. Now,
very important.
So, like I said, at that point in time, in the 29th, when we did the first episode, you don't ever stop working, right?
No,
For me, I'm now kind of getting my feet wet back into this process. Obviously, I released Storm Symphony.
Yeah.
Obviously, I took the music off of streaming.
Yeah. Congratulations on all that too, Curtis.
Thank you, bro. You the first, the first motherfucking person on this earth
on all
that didn't say
shit,
congratulations. Man. Everybody else was like, I didn't do that, or they said, what you gonna do now?
Nah.
And we were talking about it off camera. Like, there's a lot of stuff that we talked about that obviously is gonna stay offline, but it's just interesting to see the pushback in the way that it looked, but then also too how I think I put a tweet up. I was like, I can tell you on one hand how many people reached out during that time period. You were one of them that reached out and were like, nigga, you're not crazy.
Yeah, no.
At least not for what they saying you crazy for. You there's something here.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of folks, they were trying to figure out, okay, well, what does that look like? They don't understand that there's a vulnerability there that I don't know what's next.
Yeah, straight up. And then like whenever you shake the table or you you make motherfuckers question what you doing.
Right.
You're doing something.
Yeah. Especially when you get, I think when you get people that you already don't rock with on an energetic level, and you like, if it got you disturbed, I'm in the right arena. Because, bro, I mean, everybody in their mama was so bothered by not me telling. I didn't tell not Nanny Trizz. Did I ever call you and tell you, man, take your shit down, bro? Because I did that. I need you to ride with me.
No.
Did that conversation ever happen?
Nah, you never pushed that on anybody.
Come on now. So,
you know what I mean,
I just want to see. What does it look like now? I told myself this, Trizz. I said, with me taking the music down, it's going to be a process whenever I do decide to put it back up. Because at some point I will. I just made it to where I said, you know what? I got banned from streaming in 2024.
Yeah.
I made up a fake scenario. I got banned from streaming.
Yeah.
Now, how would you make money?
No, straight up.
And I feel like the lessons I'm about to learn are lessons that you've been learning because you have been direct to consumer in that you've been selling hand-to-hand CDs. You've been selling merch directly from the crib and sending it out to the folks. I have not had to necessarily do that because a lot of the stuff that I was doing, like I said, was content. Now I'm looking at it and I'm like, it's interesting how many people are like looking at direct to consumer like it's such a new thing. But I'm like, bro, when we first came into this, we had no choice.
Yeah, straight up and down.
You can't get into Best Buy. You can't get into a mom and pop store.
Yeah.
You have to sell out the trunk.
You have to sell out the trunk. Like like the thing about the whole independent game and like selling direct to consumer is like we're trying to feed ourselves off of something that we supposedly love. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people that get into our game and don't love it and they abuse it.
Bro.
You know what I mean? But like straight up,
I wasn't ready for that part. I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, so like as me and you and as well as our peers and a lot of people that we look up to or we homies with, like I really care about the game just like you. Like I really got love for the game. It's kind of like basketball. Like, you know, Kobe had love for the game.
He wouldn't put his body on the line if he didn't.
Like, it's a lot of people that just do it
for a check.
On top of doing it because they know they have the ability to do it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm 8'4".
Yeah, straight up.
What, I'm finna be a bank teller?
Straight up. You feel me? On the real. But if you ain't got no love for the game,
it's gonna show. Because I mean, when
Yeah.
and not even to put these dudes out there, but like there's been players crazy enough. They've been on the Clippers before. Remember like Keith Kloss?
Oh no.
Keith Kloss was like, you do remember him because he went viral. Keith Kloss was like super tall. He was like 7 foot something. And
a black dude?
Black dude, light-skinned black dude. He had braids. He got jumped.
What?
And it was on camera.
Yeah.
And it was like, he's tall as hell, so it's hard to miss. Michael Olawakandi's another one where it's like, I really wonder how many of these folks are like rappers in that God gave you an athletic ability. And it's like, what, you not going to use it?
Yeah, nah, for sure.
You're not going to come get one of these $5 million, $6 million contracts?
But if you ain't got no love for it.
But if you got no love for it, what does that look like? So I feel like I have explained this before, but Trizz, from your perspective, what does somebody look like in the independent space that doesn't have a love for this?
You look like a plant. You look like somebody who is just trying to, you trying to gain leverage off of something that you don't care about. You feel me? Like some people be like, a lot of people think like, oh yeah, it's easy. Like you don't like. I can rap too. Like that's one of the biggest insults.
That's
to
nasty.
Me.
That's so.
I could do
why
that
is it an
too.
insult to you?
Well, because I know what I go through in order to get shit done. Like
right.
I know what it takes to be who I am, and it ain't just rap. It's just with anything. What if nigga? It's like walking into that. That's like telling a brain surgeon or like telling somebody who like.
Shit.
Like, nigga, what? I could do this.
Man, give me that scalpel.
Like, and that's disrespectful to me. You feel
it
me?
Is.
Like I've been doing this since I was 9 years old. I've been doing this since before the internet. You feel me? Like I've been trying to do this before it was cool to do it. Yeah. I didn't wake up one morning and say I want to rap. Like I've been doing this shit because I love doing it.
How do you feel about the folks who, like, they've done the work in like building an audience, like say for instance like a live stream like a Kai, not even him specifically, but folks like Speed, like I Show Speed, like they'll build an audience, and it seems like it's more popular where you'll get folks who, I know folks who build up an audience on Vine back when that shit was popping, and they were like, yo, if I started to do music, I could leverage this and I could turn this in. Do you feel it's the same thing with them, or like is it? I mean, it's case by case basis, but how do you feel with that?
To me, it's the same thing. It's like you popular in one area and then like you abuse music because like you know that's like an everyday lifestyle for people. Like everybody listen to music, so like I feel like people jump into like rap is so exploited, it's ridiculous. Like everybody thinks that they can rap. Everybody thinks that like, oh,
dude,
like they just make it like. I use this as an example, bro. Like in my relationship with my wife, like before we became a husband and wife, like I had to tell her family what I do for a living, and like that's
how did you explain what you do for a living? What is it? What did you tell them?
I had to explain to them like just because you don't see me on TV, don't mean that I'm not making money off of
facts,
it. Like,
facts.
I'm able to take care of your daughter, your sister, your niece, off of what I do. You know what I mean? Just because you ain't heard of me. Because that's the common misconception about being an entertainer, whether it be rap, whether it be acting, whatever. Just because you ain't heard of me don't mean that I'm not out here getting cheese.
And I think that's, bro, it's crazy. That's a great topic too to start off with, because I had this thought in my mind where I was like, why is it we got to get so cute about the description when we say we rap? Like, why is that not enough? Because
of the perception of rap, and I can't blame people who don't understand it. Like. They like, oh, you ain't got a backup plan? Like, nigga, this is the backup plan. What are you talking about? Because you look at it as some, some second class trade, and you look at it as something that may or may not work. I literally believe in myself. Like you're so comfortable with the fact that it's like I need to get paid every Friday. People are so accustomed to that.
That's the only way to do it for them.
Nigga, I've always put it in my head like ain't nobody gonna tell me when I can and cannot get paid, and ain't nobody gonna tell me like ain't nobody gonna be in control of how I eat. Nobody. And I've always felt that way. So if my passion is rap, then nigga I'm gonna make this shit work. I'm gonna try to figure it out. But ain't nobody ever gonna tell me how I'm gonna eat. Like you got motherfuckers who be crying and like losing their shit when they get fired from a job, and like a lot of that, it's gonna sound fucked up, and I'm not trying to diss nobody that got no 9 to 5, because I want you to get your chili. I definitely want you to get your chili. Don't ever feel bad about getting your chili. But like, please don't let nobody demean you or make you feel less than because they took away your way to eat. And I never wanted to be that person. Straight up and down.
No, and it's crazy. I feel like that even exists with artists that are used to being in a signed situation too. Because they get out here and they feel lost as hell, where it's like, what does a rollout look like where somebody's not taking care of that for me?
No, straight up.
And I think people, what some people see as an inconvenience, I don't think they realize how much flexibility and freedom that comes along with it. And I'm starting to see it, bro. I'm like, man, it's not I have to, it's I get to. Oh shit, I get to. If I want to just drop some shit tomorrow, who the fuck is gonna tell me I'm not gonna drop tomorrow? I made it, I mixed it, I mastered it, I made the artwork. What's the other barrier of entry? It's just going out tomorrow.
Period.
And I'm going to learn something from that, because I'm going to learn something more than somebody who's never done it, because now I have information. Like, oh, shit, I found a pocket on Instagram when I put this reel promoting a song, and that shit transferred into sales or streams or whatever. I figured something out. And we're already I feel like we're already in a wild, wild west where people are trying a lot of different things, whether it's the crypto space, whether it's digital, whether it's physical. People are trying things and seeing like, okay, well, let's see if this works. But you don't. Here's one thing too, bro. I feel like people always ask, like, what do you think is the biggest problem with independent artists or producers in general? Asking for one size fits all advice.
Oh yeah. That's a very big problem. And we were just talking about that. Like,
just talking about that.
What works for me may not work for you, but what I can tell you is that like this worked for me. So like, if you want to take that and if you want to take it and try it, cool. But if it don't work for you, don't come back and blame me that it didn't work. But what I will tell you is that one thing that we all have in common is that we were all consistent. Everybody that's successful,
every single person. Yeah.
Everybody that
hold on, I gotta drop one of those.
Go ahead, do that.
I had to drop one of those for you. Yeah, go ahead. You say everybody's been consistent.
Everything about somebody. Everybody that's successful, we all got one thing in common. We was all consistent and we didn't give up. Like that is always gonna separate you from somebody who got it and who don't got it.
Not as
like,
facts.
Like I don't when I look at people and then like I see a motherfucker, he driving a Bentley, he doing all this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
It's like I know that person. Okay, he may have gotten you know, somebody, his, you know, a rich ass uncle or somebody who passed away that, you know, he inherited bread off of. But at the end of the day, somebody worked for that.
I'm about to say that's still somebody's
That
consistency.
started. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That started.
No matter what, that's still a part of the
somebody,
equation.
yeah. So like,
you can't undo that.
Exactly. So like, you know, what me and Curtis do, let's just say, you know, hopefully, God willing, we become fucking millionaires at this shit.
Yeah.
Our kids and our kids' kids, we want them to eat off of that. And that started with consistency. Like we didn't give up and we didn't stop doing it. Straight up.
It took me a long time, and that's a great point, but it took me a long time to realize I think the want for artists, because they be asking me for advice, and it's like, dog, I don't even know the ins and outs of your situation. Like, what if I give you all this game and all this advice, and I come to find out that you are the most difficult person to work with, and you don't know it?
Oh yeah.
You think everybody else is the problem, right?
Yeah.
Like I was telling you earlier, I was like, because you was giving me a prop, she was like, man, I was like, Trizz, why all these relationships I be having like go sour? I'm like, nigga, I'm the problem. He's like, nah, bro, you dangerous, bro. It's dangerous. And I'm like, nah, I'm trying to take accountability.
Yeah.
Sometimes to a fault. But what I realize is that folks looking for a one size fits all piece of advice, that's a form of laziness.
Right. Oh, for sure.
Because it's like, if I had to reword that into what it really is, for a lot of people, it's what advice can you give me so that I don't have to work hard at this shit?
Oh yeah. And
what advice can you give me so I don't have to fail?
Yeah, for sure. And there is no easy route. There is no easy route. You have to work for it.
You gotta work for this shit.
Like a lot of people who don't believe in religion, or they don't believe in God, or they don't believe in faith. It's like, well, why would God allow me to be homeless? Why would God allow me to do this, that, and the third? It's like y'all like to blame it on that, but like God didn't say it was gonna be no free ride. Like you have to work for it. Like effort goes a long way,
especially when it's for a result that's worth it. Right?
Effort goes a long way.
Yeah,
bro. Like when you try hard, even if you can try 1,000 times, if you fail them 1,000 times, you still try. Like you still gonna get credit. I know niggas that got beat the fuck up, but they was still fighting.
Yeah.
You get looked at as a bitch when you run.
People remember that more so than anything else.
People remember they remember the fact that you ran and you didn't stand up to that bully. But let somebody be trying to bully you and you fight that nigga back, he beat your ass. But the fact that you stood there and you was trying to fight it out and you was trying to make sure like I'm not finna get marked out, that's
different energy.
It's different energy.
Because then the next person is like, I might not be as lucky as the last person.
Like at least he tried. Like that nigga tried.
He got
like,
a whole lot of fighting.
You can't get on the
let
real.
me leave his ass alone.
Yeah, straight up. And that goes goes for any aspect of life to me.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting, bro. Like so, you know, for those that are listening that are familiar with the channel and all of that stuff, I don't know if me and Trizz have had this conversation, but I was already trying to make my transition out of doing producer-related content because that's what I've been doing for the last, I don't know, X amount of years.
Okay.
And I wanted to get into, obviously, like, I just want to, like, react to shit as a part-time job, content creation, and then my full-time job is making music every single day. And Trizz, when I tell you, I've been doing this shit every single day, even if it's, like, at the very little. And I want to talk about regimens with you because I remember last time we talked, you told me about like the whiteboard that you got. You told me about like, yo, if I don't plan my day out, this shit can go many different directions.
Straight up.
So I've been working on music every single day, and I started getting to a point where it's like, I don't know if it makes me feel like an asshole, but like I don't want to, like I want to basically give game, especially the people that I feel like are gonna do something with it. I want to give. I want to always be. That's just who I am. I was gonna always be giving, but there's another part of me that's like, I'm tired of giving that on ears that are they ain't gonna do nothing with it.
But that's not your problem.
But true, right. But there's a part of me that feels like how you were talking about earlier, how like when you put a course out or you put something out there, like you're not putting that out there for somebody to just spend the money and then have that shit in their email for the next 6 years.
Straight up.
You giving that when I'm giving you this energy, like this is energy that I could have been like, well, fuck you. I can go put this into the music.
Okay, look. okay, look. Okay,
I'm not saying that's right, but
No.
I'm saying that that's a thing.
I'm about to put this into perspective.
Please do.
I'm
Please
about
do.
to put this into perspective.
Please do.
When I go to a store and it's a homeless guy outside asking me for money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I give him $20. What he does with that $20 is not my business.
This is true.
The act itself of me giving him $20 is because I care.
Stay
now
solid.
what you
Yeah,
do
yeah,
now
yeah.
what you do with that $20 is your business, but I just want you to know what, like, it's coming from a good place.
Right.
So
right,
when you
right,
give your information,
right.
when you giving out information like, look, this is what it is, this is what it ain't, this is how I did it, and I'm
Yeah.
sharing this information with you for you to prosper. I'm sharing you. I'm giving you this $20 so you can go
It's a
get
good
something
point.
to eat.
It's a valid
Like if
point.
you choose to go buy cigarettes and choose to buy a beer and then you still hungry afterwards,
Right.
that's not my business.
Let me add another angle to
me?
this. Let me add another angle to this. As I'm getting into my artist bag, as
Yeah.
I'm getting into my artist focus, there's also the other part of this where there are people who don't want to even see this as a thing. So I'm getting now like DMs. My DMs now have been divided between 3 different categories that I've noticed. 2 of them are annoying as shit. Just being, I love doing these podcasts with you because I feel like we can like talk about all.
Talk about all
So,
this shit. Yeah.
First, the category that I love are folks who are either showing love or they're engaging with the music, sharing the music, or even sharing content. I don't care about. You're sharing something that I worked on, or the editor that I work with worked on. I'm grateful.
Yeah.
The other 2 categories, niggas telling me how to do something that I ain't never done, but I'm currently doing.
Yeah.
They got all kind of advice in the whole world. I cannot tell you the amount of folks that got ideas for me to do things, and I'm like,
Yeah, like, bro.
let me cook.
Let me cook, bro.
The reason why this is even a conversation of value to you is because I did something in the
did
first
it.
few steps that grabbed your attention.
Yeah.
The other category of folks who were still asking me to be who I was.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a producer-related question. Hey, I got a DistroKid-related question. I'm not even an affiliate anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even like an ambassador for DistroKid. And on top of that, you ain't seen producer content from me in damn near 6-7 months.
Yeah.
It's like the folks is not reading the room, and I think that that's a part that I'm gonna be able to give game to somebody who does go my route and says, all right, I'm gonna deprioritize the music for a little bit and go into content, stabilize that, learn business, and then take that business savvy over into my music career and reinvigorate it. I just happen to do my shit at 39. But as I'm doing this now, like, I'm realizing like how many of these companies don't take artists serious as a business. And we can definitely get into that because
No,
we had a long conversation about that shit right there.
I think a lot of times when it comes to like being an artist, like they look at us as equals. All right, it's not the business. I'm not labels. I'm talking about people. Like they look at us like
listeners. You talking about?
I'm talking about consumers.
Consumers, okay.
Like
Okay.
they like to look. First of all, social media is the #1 reason for this. Like, bro, back in the day, like we would be fucking superstars, and I say that because of our mindset and like what you have going on, and because you artists weren't so accessible. Like, imagine if you could hit Michael Jackson up in a DM.
That's
even
crazy.
if he ain't gonna respond to
Even
it.
if he ain't even operating it.
Like straight up, it's
yeah.
like we're so connected with the consumer now that we have to change the dynamic of the conversation with. You feel me?
Do you think there's a con to being too connected?
Yeah, because fuck yeah.
Let's get into it. Let's get into it, cause honestly, bro, like that's something that my wife straight up told me. She said, I say this with love, but she's like, you way too available. You're way too available,
bro.
But I don't know no other way. So Trizz, talk me through this one, bro. Like, give me your perspective on it, cause I there's times where I'm like,
bro,
well, what does the opposite look like?
The fact that a fan thinks they can hit me up and ask me what time the show start, to me is right there. That right there is just like, what the fuck do you hit up? I know I'm not trying to put myself on the same pedestal because I know the comments gonna be like, nigga, you ain't that. Like, nigga, do y'all hit up Jay-Z and ask him what time the show start? Like, nigga, don't hit me up and ask me that. Like, nigga, look at the flyer.
Let's even make it on an independent level. Like, I wouldn't hit up Currency.
I wouldn't do that. Exactly.
I don't care how, like, he interacts with his folks on the social media,
does.
but I wouldn't hit up Currency with the expectation of like, this nigga ain't hit me back. I ain't going to that show.
Come on, bro.
What?
That's what I'm saying.
But people have that expectation of you.
That's that expectation. Like, there was this fan who ordered some merch for me, and the merch ended up being late. And then I told him, I was like, yo, for the merch being late, I'm throwing some extra merch.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so, but every day, this nigga was antagonizing my Twitter, and like he was like on my head, like I still ain't received whoopty whoopty whoop. I haven't received my vinyl and this, that, and the third. And you promised me extra merch. Mind you, this is like 2 days after I told him this.
Oh my God.
Know what I'm saying? And like when
that's not even enough time for the shit to get to him.
Right. Not only that, it's like I'm very, when it comes to merchandise and stuff like that,
You're on top of
it. I'm really big on refunds too, because I understand like ordering, like as a customer. I'm also a consumer.
Right.
So I always think as a consumer. But the fans are so connected with us that, like you said, like, oh, if somebody hit me up and say, oh, what time the show start, and I don't respond, it's like, oh, well, I'm not going.
I'm
it's
not
like,
rolling out.
Nigga, the fact that you even expect to talk to me.
Yeah, that's a different thing. And that's where I'm at it now, where, bro, I've done this for the last, on the internet at least, I've done this for the last 9 years of being so connected. And I think that there's a lot of pros that come along with it. Of course, when people feel like they have access to you, when people feel like, damn, you treated me like a human being. You didn't have to give me your time, but you did. Yeah. There's also a part of like, it's an energy that builds in some people, bro. I'm not gonna say this is everybody, but it's some people who feel like, damn, I got that kind of access to you. Yeah. You really ain't on shit.
Straight up.
If you got time to respond to this kind of shit, you probably ain't really got that much business.
Straight up.
Because you got the same time that I do right now.
Exactly. And like, that's why, like, sometimes when somebody hits me up, you know what I mean, and they be talking shit in my comments as a fan and stuff, I want to respond, because I want you to know that, like, I'm not like that. I don't want you to think that I'm a rude person.
Because that matters as well, right?
That matters. But on top of that, it's like, nigga, who you think you talking to? Bro, I don't give a fuck about, I don't care about your $50 you spent, nigga.
Yeah, that ain't enough, because I'll give you that shit right back. Get your little funky $50 back now.
There is a refund button, nigga, and I don't need your money, and I won't take it from you. I will not steal from you. You can have this shit back.
Bro.
Bro.
I think it's certain people, and I hate to say it because I don't want to make it a race thing, but I do feel like it's certain people that buy from you and feel like they bought a piece of you. Like, I own a piece of you.
And that they're entitled to that conversation.
They're entitled to it. Like, nah, but I bought from you. Like, I got there's been people even on this here internet that will tell stories. Anytime somebody speaks negatively about me on the internet or YouTube, and say I go check out some of the content, I guarantee I always see the same names in there, and they tell the same stories. And when they tell these same stories, it dawns on me that they think that they now own my reaction. They now own my perspective. They own, how dare you don't give me what I expected. I paid money with you.
Yeah, for sure.
I would much rather, if I can cut the connection, the umbilical cord that you think that the imaginary one, by just giving you $25 back. You don't think I would want to give you that money back? Straight up. Not that I don't appreciate it, because Lord knows every single person that ever invests money with me, you are going to, anything happens, you know, I'm probably going to be the one to hit you back in the email. But Lord, man,
bro, I done spent hundreds of dollars with Walmart, and I never got to talk to the CEO. Nigga.
Bro, I use that example too. How much Laker gear have I bought? And you think that if I told them my shit came 2 days later, I ain't never supporting y'all again, they ain't even gonna respond.
They don't give a fuck. Their capital is so much more important than you. Your fucking life ain't even worth your response. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm.
Bro, they got a name for you. It's called churn rate. Whenever you got a subscription model, there's gonna be always a churn rate, right? So artists, look that up. Where you got a churn rate where there's if you got like a Patreon and you got any kind of subscription based business, you know that there's going to be people who are going to unsubscribe on a regular basis and people who are going to subscribe. That's a part of the business. Same thing when you got customers, and maybe that's how we got to look at it. Folks who come in here with the expectation of, I bought something from you, now I own, like, I own your time. I own a response and your time. But then again, my thing is, if somebody respects Trizz's business model that much and says, I want to invest money into what you're doing because what you're doing is spectacular, it got my attention. It's funny how quickly these people forget how you got their attention. You got their attention by working.
Period.
You didn't get their attention by DMing them and annoying them. Yeah. You got their attention by doing the work.
Yeah,
and now this conversation we having, I cannot do the work.
Yeah.
Because I'm giving, and it rightfully so. If you had if your order went down the drain, we need to make sure we take care of that. But they don't understand. Like, then you turn around and disrespect the Trizz on Twitter, and it's like, I'm doing the work that got you to care, give a damn in the first place. That's crazy.
Like,
bro.
This guy was commenting on shit like that had
nothing to do with it,
and then he would just insult me because he hadn't got his sweater, and I'm like, bro. It's coming, and you ordered it like a few weeks ago. Like, I feel that, and then like I told you, we're competing with Amazon. We're competing with like.
You gotta explain that. You gotta explain because they haven't heard that. Explain that theory of how we are as independent artists competing with an Amazon.
Oh, exactly. So like we're in a climate where it's like we're now. Like as a consumer, it's now. It's now. Tomorrow. It's like, bro, I ordered my shit, nigga, 2-3 weeks ago, but I don't have the machine. That
are the drones.
I don't have all of that. You feel me?
Delivering shit like you said 2 hours now.
Nah, you feel me? So like, nigga, that's when y'all see the podcast really indie though, nigga. I'm really indie. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like we're competing with these companies that y'all order from on a daily basis. Like the fact that you can order food, and it shows up at your door. The fact that you can order a computer right now, a laptop, and that shit'll be at your door in a couple of hours.
Right. The fact that you could vlog the delivery of your new camera.
Exactly. So routine, as soon as something that's routine becomes like out of order or
the expectation
is off.
Yeah.
It kind of fucks with you a little bit. If I've been ordering from Amazon, I've been ordering from Target, I've been ordering from Walmart to get directly to my door within 48 hours. And then I order from this artist, one of my favorite artists, and you don't know me, and you look at me like this big ass entity, and your order is fucking a week late. You like, what the fuck, nigga? Where my shit at?
That's such a great point because now I'm at the point where if I run a Google search, say for instance for like a certain lens, if that shit says 2 to 4 weeks, I immediately copy and paste the title and I go to Amazon and I see like, is it really gonna take 2 to 4 weeks if I go over here? And so that's the time we're living in. So if that's the time we're living in, I mean, it's absolutely right. But that's another reason why with me, bro, like I'm the same as you. When I see that order, I'm like, all right, there's a certain section of my time tomorrow that's been determined. Yeah. Especially when it's like 3 or 4 orders.
Oh, for sure.
Like, no, we gotta, and luckily, you know, wifey, she does her things with her. She has her press-on nail business, so she already has like the label printer. Yeah, you use a label printer at all?
No, I don't. But I'm familiar with it. I'm familiar with it.
Bro, I'm at the like we gonna have to, because that shit saves so much money. Even like being able to, because I didn't realize how much like the postal annex and all these was taxing, and that's something else too. Like, bro, if I'm sending you this merch, it ain't always gonna be like. Sometimes you could end up eating the majority of the profit,
for sure.
Especially if I'm going like to like a print on demand type of situation, right? Yeah. So say for instance, Printful for whatever.
I
use Printful, right? So Printful, let's say like a T-shirt would be like $14. You may sell it for like 24, and that's $10. And if you sending this shit across the states, that could easily eat up about $6-7. If it's judging by the weight, judging by the size, you may or may not even have that profit now.
Yeah, nah, straight up.
It's literally paying to it's paying to be delivered. Yeah. And so
to be printed.
And to be printed. Yeah. But that eats up off the money that they initially spend. But it's like I don't think folks realize like, damn, like there's a lot of sacrifices that go into it. What I was gonna say about the printer thing is that shit is saving so much money because being able to, first of all, like they be even give me attitude when I go on Postal Annex, especially when I come on a bunch of merch. I'm like, can you type this out? Because when I write this shit, like my writing is trash. I'm like, can y'all type this? But we print these things out at home. The shit looks clean. You send it off, and they'll tell you how much it's gonna be based upon the size of your packages. So we'll definitely talk about that. But nah, bro, like you're right. We're competing with the Amazons. We're competing with instantaneous expectation. And I think people don't understand like how small sometimes the operation is when you don't have a team.
Yeah, like, and sometimes I've had to explain to people, and I was like, man, I don't have to do this, but I do this because I care.
I'm about to say, is that their business to know what the situation is?
It's not, but I care. Like,
you want to share that.
I don't want nobody sitting there, like, because I've been the angry customer before.
I sure in the hell have too.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't ever want nobody to feel like I don't give a damn, because, like, I know how hard it is right now, bro.
Especially now.
Bro, the economy is fucked up.
Yeah.
So the fact that you even took, you know, your time to go on my site and take your credit card and type in them numbers and buy my sweater, I genuinely appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like, that shit paid for my haircut. That shit paid for my food for the day. I really appreciate that.
It's direct to consumer. It's also direct to business as well.
Right. And so sometimes I have to humble myself, like, yeah, you bro, you are right. I don't have a big time. I don't have a big ass operation, so it is my job to let you know, like, your order's gonna be. But you know what? What I'm gonna do on top of that? I'm gonna throw in an extra shirt. I'm gonna throw in an extra shirt. I'm gonna discount you. I'm gonna refund you your 3-day shipping that you paid for. I'm gonna try to accommodate for it because I do care. I don't want you to think that I don't give a fuck. That's my biggest thing with my fans, straight up and down. Yeah,
that's huge, man. That's huge, and I think that kind of customer service goes a long way to when you do eventually expand operation. When you do get in a place where maybe you got a factory, like you'd have been to the Strange Land, right? Yeah. So you got that whole tour, right?
Yeah. I've been to Strange Land a gang time. Them was the homies. That was the first tour I went on. So,
bro,
yeah. Oh yeah,
bro,
they got it cracking.
That shit made me realize I was playing independent. You know how like you'll get like I got a song on a project called it's called Playing Business, produced by I don't know if he's still in here, but shout out to the homie Young Beans. Yeah. And you make your steps, that's like big steps for you, and then you go watch somebody who has an operation and you like, oh shit, I'm not even in the conversation. It's like when you practicing at home and you playing ball and you like hitting the jump, you're like, oh my jumper is crazy. Like I could probably play in the NBA right now. Then you go meet a bench player.
Yeah, that's killing it.
And he's kicking your ass. Yeah. Brian Scalabrine is working all over the court. And you like, ain't no way. You look so slow on TV, but here. So I think it's the same thing when you meet folks in the business where it's like, no, you got everything is you got operation, you got departments, you got somebody that is just in charge of your playlisting, just in charge of the merchandise. But that's Strange Land. Oh my God, Trizz, bro. When we took the tour, the fact that first of all we needed like mini carts to get to different parts to the acres.
They got 2 of them.
I don't know if I was there when they had. I think it was the 2 of them when they did because they had the car wash.
If you went within the last 10 years, they had.
It was a 2. Okay. Yeah. It's insane, bro. Because even like going from one, they were like, okay, so now we're gonna go over to the merchandise department,
bro.
And like, I think the person I was describing it was like this shit used to be a Montgomery Ward. Remember that store, Montgomery Ward? It was an actual factory and all of that. So it makes sense when you think about like when you see that, bro. Like they got merchandise from different seasons that may or may not be available on the website, but it's there.
It's there.
Accounted for, inventory, that's a business. Yeah. But there's so many folks that look at this stuff and it's just like, they just kind of like,
it's just like it's just
off the hip. And it's like, no, you can't just wing this shit.
Like I've always looked at myself like a major business. So I'm going to operate that way. I'm a VV. Bro, I've had customers cuss me out, and I be thinking like, nigga, I don't know who the fuck you think you talking to, but I get back into the mindset like, wait, Walmart. If I had a complaint and I cuss Walmart out, they gonna respond in a professional way.
Damn.
So I still keep that professionalism. Like, you know what? I apologize. You're right.
That's my bad.
I don't. I appreciate your patience and your patience and your support.
Right.
Thank you. I be super yes sir.
Yeah.
I be super.
You say yes sir.
Straight up.
Yes sir is crazy.
You feel me? Because I want you to understand that.
I'm professional.
I'm very professional, and I don't. Yeah, straight up.
Because bro, you was talking about. We gotta definitely talk about this too. Yeah. Because there's some artists out here that they can get away with what feels like murder.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You were telling me the situation with Frank Ocean. I hadn't heard not even a peep of this. And you know, no disrespect to bro, whatever, but like I had no idea that there was some kind of controversy around his merch. Can you explain?
Okay, so like I was online one day and I was seeing somebody complain about not getting no Frank Ocean merch, and I seen that like it was like a thing. It was becoming a thing that
started
people
trending, huh?
Yeah, like he would have like these merch sales and like he was promoting his merchandise and people weren't getting it. And like
you mean they're not getting it?
Like nigga, these niggas would pay hundreds of dollars to get.
They would burn my timeline down,
bro.
They waiting for me to slip up.
They waiting for a nigga to slip up, but it became a part of his aura. It became a part of his mystique.
It's I wish the fuck I could have a mystique that says I don't.
Bro.
Yeah, I didn't deliver your CDs.
Bro.
Not because I didn't care,
Bro.
but because like it's part of my brand.
Bro, it would be people
What?
talk. It was I seen comments. Nigga, that's a thing. You could type in Frank Ocean merch on fucking Twitter in the search bar, and that's just gonna pop up. Like that nigga made it a thing to not send niggas they shit, and they became like it became a thing. Like if you did get it, it's like oh my god, this nigga sent it to me. So it's like. They looking at it like he sent this to me, so like I got my shit. Like on the real, I swear to God,
I'm different from you. Like I'm more unique than you because
he sent me my shit. Yeah.
You ordered it.
Yeah.
That's what's up. But like I got mine delivered.
Yeah.
That's a nasty game to play.
It's a nasty game to play
because I would not know how to operate in that.
It's people right now outside that support people that treat them like shit because they're fans.
And then they turn around and treat the people who do solid business like shit.
Yeah.
Make that make sense.
Yeah, it's a fucked up game, man.
Didn't Kendrick say that on? It was like a Jhené Aiko feature or something. He's like, we love people that hate us, hate people that love us, or something. Yeah, like we have like a reaction to things. Opposites attract, I think was the name of it. Opposite attract. So like, the same thing applies. Even like to a certain degree, like one of my favorite singers, Lauryn Hill. You talked about that as well, and that like. What she said at that LA show like, was insane. Like remember what did she say? What did she say?
She said, "You lucky that I even showed up.
Now
you lucky that I'm even here." And it's people that hired a babysitter, took off from work, people that like are spending their last to come see you because they feel like it's once in a lifetime, and for you to treat them like shit, that's what I be like. I be like, y'all worship even me. It's people. It don't matter who it is. Yeah. You worship people who don't give a fuck about you, and that shit just that fucks me up. That just fucks me up, bro.
And I hear you on that because then I was asking you earlier. I was like, it's crazy how the last 4 months, bro, has taught me a lot about human psychology and just people in general. Because I was like, it's crazy the kind of shit that gets me. The kind of shit that people question about me and my character, and I'm like, but I literally got thousands of videos, thousands of live streams, all these live streams that you have been able to see my character front and center. Yeah. And the moment that it has an opportunity to see like an error or a chink in the armor or something that's just like, you know what I'm saying, like a kink, somebody kink. Oh, that was racist. I'm sorry. A kink in the armor. That's the moment that you want to go all the way in. Like this nigga Curtis King is only about his money. He's only about da 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 da. And it just got to the point where I was like, so wait a minute, I don't have the money to show for it, and y'all saying I'm money obsessive?
Nah, straight up.
So fuck that. Yeah, I am about my money. I'm about my money. You know what? I now I have to be that because when I did it the way that I am, which is who I am, you still accuse me of it. So that it's like, so then would it make you feel better if I just said it?
Yeah.
And then now we have some peace with it. But I look at it and I'm like, what is my responsibility to? And that's when I think about family. That's when I think about the things that I set out to do.
Yeah.
But. Yeah, bro, it's interesting, man, because the last 4 months, I'm like, it exposed to me that some people have a double standard when it comes to the folks that they look up to. Yeah. And also, too, bro, when it comes to, like, some of the companies, bro, like we...
All right. Oh, shit. I'm ready when you are. Nosedive.
He said nosedive, not nosedive. All right, Trizz, let's talk about this one, man. All right, so this is the Really Indie Podcast. This is the unadulterated. This is uncensored. This is like I'm not like when y'all come to this, we are going to have real indie talk. So I haven't really talked about this. All right, and I'm still gonna be like professional, and I'm still gonna make sure that there's certain details that stay stay as they are.
Fair.
Because there's things I need to talk to them about.
Yeah.
But as many of you know, I released my project through Even. Shout out to Even. Shout out to good folks over at Even. Because there's a lot of great things that they're doing that are helping people to understand the power of direct-to-consumer. However, there were some things that went according to plan, some things that didn't go according to plan. That's just any campaign. But what I started realizing, bro, with a lot of these websites, man, like, it's like indirect direct-to-consumer. That's a thing.
Okay.
When I started popping, and this is crazy. This is the thing that I was like curious about on the other end. When I had my music on streaming, I was like, I wonder what life is gonna be like on the other side. Because then I had the same conversation when I admitted, like, yo, I was using a pirated version of FL and they just came after me.
Yeah.
And I did a video, that shit went up to 1 million views.
Yeah.
And when that happened, I was like, damn, these companies ain't gonna fuck with me.
Yeah.
And then they went even heavier.
Yeah.
I got more sponsor deals after admitting it and saying, yo, I changed my ways. I'm getting into it. More companies came to me. So then now,
hold on, not to cut you off.
Yeah.
You were pirating FL?
I was pirating FL Studio, and then Image Line hit me up in an email and said, can you please present to us proof that you bought your copy of FL Studio? Because we're looking on your YouTube and we see. So in FL Studio, there's a name at the top that whoever's assigned to. Yeah. When you got a pirated version, there's no name, or it's like a random like white dude like Peter Quistard or some shit.
Ignore that shit.
Nah, hell no, not that. They were talking legality. They were talking legal shit, like,
because the thing is, making money.
The thing is, I got courses that I've been getting off with these. That's money they're entitled to. I put their branding on this shit. That's money they're entitled to. They're being nice.
Oh.
And if they want to use somebody as an example, they'd love to use my black ass.
So what'd you say?
So I was like, first, I was still in my, at that time, I was still in my nigga phase. I was still in my piracy phase. I was like, how can I like fake this shit? And I was like, stupid, you can't even do that because all I gotta do is just run the email.
Straight up.
Because I think I might have said like, oh, I'm using the homies version of FL Studio or something like that.
So you told them the truth?
I just, at that point, I was like, they already had screenshots.
Oh, so yeah.
I had videos that started coming down. They got me to 2 strikes on my channel.
2 strikes?
My channel had 2 strikes, and they were like, they didn't say anything about it, but both the strikes were videos from FL Studio.
Yeah.
And they were, and it was almost like, we gave you 2 strikes.
Yeah.
Your little YouTube channel that you care about, now we're coming to you.
And letting you know.
On some gentleman shit.
Yeah.
Before it could get into some G shit.
Yeah.
They was like, if you can present us this information, we'll make all of this stuff go away type. Yeah. I was like, so, I did it. I did it. Yeah. Like at first I was like, oh, that's the homies version. And they were like, well, that's not legal. So you got a few choices. Either you can remove these products, you can remove these videos, or, you know, purchase a copy. And I said, you know what? I was already making a little bit of bread. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to buy it.
How much was it?
That's the stupid thing about it, bro. As much money as I made selling beats, it was nothing money. But the fact that it was just a matter of like, at that point, it's just greed. At that point, it's greed. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just like,
I might as well just.
It's like 150, 179, something stupid, right? But it's so little at that point in time that you don't do it.
And it's a one-time payment.
For a lifetime. How asshole of me was that, right? But I did it. And when I did that, I decided, I said, you know what? If I make this video, I think that this could help a lot of people. They didn't even ask me to make a video. I'd volunteer because I was like, I'm trying to get myself all the way out of this hot water.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a case. Trizz, I don't have a case.
Yeah, straight up. Yeah.
Even if I say, oh, the homie put the program on my computer, it's still against their terms.
Because it's not yours.
It's not my copy.
Yeah.
And they got screenshots, and I got 2 strikes on my YouTube. I'm finna take your bag from YouTube. Yeah. I'm finna take your ass to court, and you're gonna lose. Like I had no leverage. So if I ignored it, I probably would not be here today.
Yeah, nah, for sure.
But long story short, I was comparing that to when I did that video. I got so many brand deals after. And I was like, damn, this shit might have changed my life admitting this. And it did. So that's when I started realizing like the power of, you know, of course, like being associated with companies, but also like, yeah, that's basically the point. But what I was saying is that with these companies, sometimes I think we'll champion these companies so hard that we forget, like, in some ways we're in competition with them.
For sure. That's why that's one of the biggest reasons they do business with you, because they know that they can make some money.
And so I'll say this, without giving too many details, the even situation was absolute success, especially from the outside optics, especially when you see like the amount of money that was generated. That was dope. There was a few things, and I mentioned this to them, there's a few things that timing wise, I was like, I operate a different way. And I don't know if they're used to an artist that's like, if I say I'm releasing this day, I have my rollout plan planned, and I'm the one that planned it. This is not like, well, let's just see what happens. I don't wait and see what happens. Like, I got my shit together.
Right.
And even the amount of rewards that I offered might have been significantly more than what they're used to with an artist. And so I was championing, because I was like, yo, I love the business model. This is like, I'm my first project back selling. I was like, this is good. And then reality started to sit in. Curtis, you have given away your influence. You've given away your energy to another middleman.
Straight up.
And this is no disrespect to them. This is just exactly what the fuck it is. Them, other companies that are like them, are businesses in the middle of businesses. Excuse me, businesses in the middle of a consumer. They're the person that's like, you go to a new country and you make the decision, I'm going to take an Uber to this hotel and then I'm going to go tour around the city. Before you step out the hotel, after you get your bags in there, somebody says, hey, before you go tour the city, would you like to see the real city? Yeah, I would. How much is that going to cost me? Oh, it's only going to cost you this. You know what? Matter of fact, I'll drive you to the places.
Oh, yeah.
That to me seems like these business models that step up and they become kind of like the connection point between it. And so, exactly, the middleman between it. And I started realizing, like, damn, I'm sending all this traffic to even.com. What about CurtisKing.com?
That was one of my biggest, like, questions on top of.
Talk about it, Trizz. Come on, talk about
it. Yeah. Like I was looking at it like, first of all, I commend Even for doing what they do.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, no, shut up. But I'm thinking to myself, like, obviously, that's your traffic when it comes to like people who's purchasing the album, the Curtis King album.
Yeah.
People who are, champion behind what Curtis King is providing for this service. At the end of the day, it ain't Curtis King's site.
I did it again. It's like Trizz,
it's easy to step into that.
Why is it so easy though? Because like I know better on paper. I know better, Trizz.
Right, because somebody will present to you a formula that you like, that you love. Like, oh damn, that is dope. Well, this is what I can contribute, and then when that company loves that idea and they think it'll work, they're like, yeah, come on, nigga. They're like, yeah, come on. I had to deal with that with a lot of companies. You know what I'm saying? All right, look. So since we getting uncomfortable,
I heard. All right, look. I know where that's going. That's how I know. Okay. I know you. That's how I know you know you well, bro.
Okay, look. First of all, shout out to THO. I want to say that.
Shout out to THO.
Shout out to THO, and I got a lot of love for them over there. Shout out my homie Jason and all of that. And THO put a lot of money in my pocket, so I'm not finna degrade them. But I will say this: I put out a tweet talking about how Spotify and Apple Music and THO pays, and I was trying to explain to people like THO.
Super viral tweet, by the way.
That tweet went super viral. It got to the point to where THO ended up hitting me up.
Yeah,
they ended up contacting me and like wanting to do business, and like they told me like, yo, we appreciate that. Like, you brought so much traffic to THO. Like, I got them so many subscribers, it's ridiculous. Like,
just simply by sharing words and information on Twitter.
So it got to the point to where like I was on Zoom calls with them, giving them ideas how to improve their site. Swear to God. So like,
wow.
Yeah. So like, on top of, they were like, I got such a good relationship with THO that whenever I drop music, like, all I gotta do is hit the
priority. You on that front page and all that.
Yeah, I'm priority. Yeah, no, they really love what I do.
Okay, so where's this going now?
No, hold on. It's not going to nothing bad.
Okay.
It's going to the fact that it was like I was worth something to them.
That part.
You were worth something to even.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like they was looking at me like on top of that tweet, he's independent. He's also he knows how to generate money doing what he's doing. He knows he has.
I got a platform that I can leverage all this stuff going on.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's when I think it dawned on me too. And I want you to finish that point, but it dawned on me like some of the shit that I'm doing. I know people that are part of the 1 percentile of really, really indie artists that do these things, and these are not like badges of honor. Yeah. Like we don't look at these as like nigga, I really be sending out my own merch. It's like, no, you're supposed to be sending it if you got that shit. Like you want to have your hands on it. Yeah. But I started realizing how many artists that don't see this as a business, they end up probably becoming some of their new customers. They end up being the ones where it's like, oh, I don't have that, or I don't have this, I don't have this. Yeah. Like even me requesting like, yo, where do I put my UPC code? The fact that I'm asking that is like, nobody's ever asked this.
Nobody's ever asked this.
ISRC codes, and it's like, well, what do you want to do with? Like, I want to be able to trace my shit.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of companies in general are used to artists that don't know any better, and I started noticing too, like, bro, even when I made the announcement for this new album that I'm putting out with extended warranty, a lot of companies were hitting me up like, yo, have you thought about putting it through our? And I'm like, nigga, no. Like, I didn't come back to being an artist, first of all. Yeah. I didn't come back to, and notice this was an instrumental tape that was given, first of all. I didn't come back to being an artist. I didn't come back to being a full-time artist to go make the same mistakes. And I don't want to get my words twisted. I'm not saying it's a mistake to go to a platform, but when you know better and you have the ability to do things on your own and you know how to do this shit, you know. And shout out to Haran DeMarco. He said, you know, it's human nature to kind of be a victim to convenience. Like, we're going to find what, and it was a convenient thing where it's like, oh shit, y'all are going to deliver my rewards. I don't have to transfer this shit. And on top of that, y'all are going to do the splits of the money too. Like, that shit is hella, because I don't want to sit here. I don't want to have to sit here and do all the math about the splits, but I will, because it's an admin type thing. They'll take care of that. But once again, I came back to this statement. This is a business, and this is your career. This is your job.
Straight up.
What do you mean you don't want to do?
You have to be ready to use.
What?
You gotta be ready to do all the work. To me, like, when somebody is falling short at a company, they get fired. Feel me? Straight
have you ever asked this question to yourself, Trizz? And I want to know what the answer to this, because I heard this on a podcast called Entrepreneur on Fire. He said, if you had to work for you, how long would you keep your job?
Depending on how much I was getting paid.
No, I'm saying if you, being like
who I am,
who you are,
and I had to work for
if you had to work for Trizz, if your government name had to work for Trizz, if Dewan had to work for Curtis King, would I want to work for that person? And when I had that conversation, I'm gonna be honest with mine, because I'm not saying that you're not gonna be with yours, but I'm saying with me, I was like, I would quit probably the first week working for Curtis King.
Oh, for sure.
Because I'm erratic. Sometimes I'm like, let's go this direction. Hey, let's do this. Like, in my head, it's organized chaos. But for somebody, and then the amount of hours that I would work, that person, because it's like, oh, you could do what I do? I need you to edit. I need you to do the Canva designs. I need you to get these thumbnails. Oh, actually, I need you to go back in on that copy and do the SEO for the tagging on YouTube. Dial it back, and then also too, I need you to go check them Bandcamp numbers. Make sure we didn't get any physicals delivered, because I got to deliver those all. Like, these are things that we process on a daily basis that I don't think we even like.
Bro, every day, like, just trying to organize your life as an independent artist and make sure everything it is what it is, like, and trying to stay busy, like, all of that type of stuff. It's like, I love when I get orders. I love having, having something on my calendar, because it's like, at least I know that what I'm doing is worthwhile. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the fact that people are still calling me to do stuff, the fact that you call me to do the song, the fact that you call me to come through and be like, yo, Trizz,
why was you so surprised about that though? Because you was like, Curtis called me to do the song, like not surprised, maybe that's not the right word, but like, when I reached out to get the feature on the song, I was like, which, by the way, first of all, let me just say this. In my 21 years, I almost feel like LeBron saying this shit. How many years this nigga been in the league? In my 20+ years of doing this shit, I have never received a feature that fast, that good, that fire. I thought he was sending me notes about something that in a beat, like, am I supposed to rap here? I play it and he says, yeah, so here's that, here's a reference, here's the acapella, here's the ad-libs. What you mean? I just sent this shit to you.
Yeah, nah, for sure.
So, but when I sent it, but you were like, you said you said you didn't know if I was gonna be asking for a censored version of your song.
Yeah,
because I got the Trizz branded feature.
Yeah, nah, it was something that I said when I was like, you know, when I say they on my dick like a doctor at a physical, and I was like, damn, that might be a little too much for the homie, because I was, you know, but then I was thinking, I was like, you know, he asked for Trizz.
Yeah,
so, you know what I mean, like. I started to think, like, when people ask me for features, I always think about that. I'm like, damn, I need to chill out, tone it down. But then I'm like, nah, nigga, if you call me, then you know what it is. You know what I'm saying?
And I wouldn't want to be a feature on your project. If you asked me to be a feature and you were like, hey, Curtis, like, can you like not do like don't do none of that lyrical shit. Like,
it's like, why are you calling me?
You got somebody you can go to for that.
Yeah, exactly. Like
you don't go to Shaq and say like, yo, could you teach me how to make free throws?
No, straight up.
Like that's not the lane that he's focused. Or three pointers is a better idea because he got to hit free throws. But 3-pointers, you don't go to him. You go to Steph. You go to the people who are in that position,
bro.
So when I ask you for a feature, you got to think for me. I've already envisioned this song, and I'm like, this needs contrast. Like, I'm good on this. This needs contrast. I got this hook. And then when I did the hook, really indie, though, I was like, we got a podcast?
No, straight up.
You the reason I even know, like, I even say that shit is because of you.
Yeah.
But
and
you
then
killed that, bro.
I just got respect for you as an MC, as a creative, and as a friend. So I all off top. And like I told you, I swear to God, I was sitting back watching Netflix, and I didn't have shit to do. And then so when you send me some work, I'm like, nigga, I'm finna do this. Bro. I want to touch on this real quick.
Please.
Okay, so Tech 9 he told me, like, when he got his Eminem feature. First of all, in order to get an M feature, I don't know if he still live by these standards, but Tech had told me, this might be TMI, but fuck it, I don't give a fuck. That's the homie. He told me, like, you got to send Eminem the song 6 months in advance. Right?
I've heard that. I've heard that. Yeah.
And this is really gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
You can't touch his vocals, so. When he send it back to you, that's how he wants to hear it. I swear to God, I'm not bullshitting you. So like,
don't you taste the velocity? Don't you mix? Don't you add no hi-hat? Don't you add nothing over the top of this?
Exactly. So let's just say, like,
that's crazy,
bro. I swear to God. So when he sends you vocals, they're already mixed and mastered to Eminem's tasting. Yeah. So you have to.
Don't you do nothing silly with this?
You can't touch nothing on his vocals.
So you have to. Do you know the details of? Do you have to send it back for approval before it goes?
Well, there is no approval, because if I send it to you like that, that's how I expect for it to come out.
My thing is, what if you change the beat around?
Oh, well, yeah, that too. I mean, I don't know. I didn't get that detail.
I wouldn't be that bold anyways. Like, if I got this feature, I would not be that bold to be like, if he agreed to this.
Bro.
You know how much on the engineer head I was? Like, nigga, did you touch his vocals? Do not touch nothing.
Yeah,
what that is.
It's going back to what I
How do you... Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to ask you, how do you feel about that protection of brand? Because I think that goes into the next conversation about live streams and whatnot. Or that's about live shows, excuse me.
I respect that. I do respect it, but it also is like, first of all, I mean, I guess like status has a lot to do with it.
He can do that. That is a privilege. Yeah.
I would feel like an asshole if I told the homie, like, but
if Trizz, hey, no, you know what? Yeah. But now that I had this conversation, I feel I would understand it. But if he was like, if anything, I think I would be like, because it's the homie, I'll be like, damn, is my mixing that trash?
Yeah.
But so, I'm like, damn.
It's like, right. It's really
Curtis, don't you touch this shit.
It's really a fine line when you think about it, because it's like, damn, like, if I ever become that status, I probably wouldn't do that. I probably if somebody like of Tech 9 stature,
right? Because
obviously M is bigger than Tech, but I'm not at either one of those statures. But like, if I am at that pinnacle and somebody like you know, let's just say somebody like Snoop Dogg or whatever. Well, Snoop Dogg is out of here. But I'm saying somebody asked me for a feature.
Right.
And I told that nigga like, nah, nigga, how I sent it to you is how I want it to be put out. Which I'm pretty sure that's not how the conversation went. But it's like, at what point do you say, like, nah, like, okay, if you want me to change this, and I will, but you gonna tell Eminem he got to change something? I'm
not gonna hold you though, and I'm gonna have to say a name on this one. This is all due respect,
all
due respect to the OG, to a legend out here. But I understand that wanting to protect your brand, your name, and especially when you don't show, like, it ain't like Eminem is prolific with features like a Lil Wayne.
Exactly.
That's not his bag. When he shows up, it's a special event.
He shows up,
right? I'm gonna hit every single angle, like lyrically, mystique, like there's an exclusivity to it, right? Everybody can't get this, right? So I understand the protection of brand, because I feel the same way in that. So I got a request to get a feature from Bishop Lamont, bro. I was beside myself. I was like, yo, this shit is, at that time, was one of the biggest deals for me. And we sent a reference, we sent the vocals in. I didn't get a chance. He didn't send a record to me before it came out. It came out, I'm a hair after rhythmically on the beat. Like it sound like I can't ride the beat. So whoever engineered that and put that there, they moved my vocalist. I can't even listen to the feature now.
That's so annoying.
I'm so in the pocket, I can't even listen to that feature without cringing. But it's like, yeah, I do got a feature with Bishop, but like, I don't know if you should go listen to that. Like, I would love the opportunity to get that back and do some new music even today. But like, that kind of shit is a reason why now I'm like, no, you gotta send me that shit before that shit hit. Don't let that shit go live.
And then a lot of it to me is like, bro, just be honest with people. Like, it's okay. It's okay for me to tell you, like, I want to hear that before you put it out. It may not seem like that because you be thinking like, oh, that artist is bigger than me. Who am I to tell him, like, I want to hear it before it come out? If Eminem asked me for a feature, it was like, Trizz, I need you on this.
I need to hear this beforehand.
And then this nigga Rick Rubin fucked my vocals up. I'm going to be like, oh, fuck, like. But it's like, who am I to tell
Rick Rubin cut that straight. That's funny.
Nah, straight up.
I'm playing. I don't understand.
I know that's his boy. But it's like, damn, I would feel fucked up about it. Like, damn, this shit is trash. But it's Eminem. But it's like, nah, like.
You're going to feel more fucked up that when it comes out and people's like, y'all really wasn't feeling that feature. Like, he ain't on the beat.
Yeah, because you so scared that Eminem might be like, fuck you then. But it's also just like, nah, man, I'm about to be honest. That's why you are who you are.
That part. You know
what I mean?
I wouldn't have asked you to do this if you wasn't who you are.
Straight up. So like, nah, make sure my shit is right.
So, okay, I think this is a good transition into the next topic of So, man, I'm gonna reserve the details on it, but I'm gonna just say I had a show that was not that different from shows that happen in any independent career. Shows happen all the time where things don't go according to plan. Sound is not A1. You know what I'm saying? The promotion, whatever happens, like things happen at shows where hip hop or independent. Like there's good days and there's bad days, just like any other business and field. However, something about, I think, coming back to music, doing shows again, I left that show so mad and so angry about like the state of just not just that show, but just live shows in general. When you're not associated with like a Live Nation, when you're not associated with like somebody who like when I went to see La Russell at Music Box, that fucking sound was so good. This nigga walked off stage with a cordless mic into the middle of the crowd. No feedback. He asked the sound man, hey, am I able to go upstairs? He said, go for it. Walks upstairs with the microphone. No feedback. Goes to the 3rd floor of this venue. There's 3 levels on this venue. The mic never dropped out.
Right.
He sounds like it sounds like he's literally sitting next to you, rapping to you, right? And it's clear the whole way through. And I'm like, man, so many of these venues cannot. And this particular show that I did, bro, like, I had to restart my show 3 times. Ain't the first time it happened, but it's the first time it happened, and I know better now. It's the first time it happened since I got the home stage. It's the first time that it happened, and I'm like, 20 years into this, fuck no. No. I'm not leaving my family, I'm not spending money for gas, for parking,
all the shit you gotta do to get there.
I'm not pulling out all of this merch.
Yeah, yeah. Sure.
And then on top of that, the epiphany I had, and I want to talk to you about this, is it's funny now because this song takes on new meaning, and I feel like I understand this currency song of audio dope. Like, if we're audio dealers and we create this, he's like audio dope, right? This is his audio dope. Our audio has to be A1 wherever we're at.
Wherever we at.
Because we're audio sellers. We sell audio in the form of CDs, digital, shrink, whatever. Audio must always be on point because this is what we're selling.
Yeah, high quality.
High quality audio, right? Yeah. Right, and high quality obviously is it may change based upon the perspective, whatever the case may be.
It's a broad statement. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's a certain standard that's expected, right? Especially within our genre. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, one representation of that audio is our live shows.
Yeah. Live shows are very important.
Now, if I go to a live show and I've seen Trizz in music videos, if I've seen you on social media, if I've seen you in features, I've seen you when the quality is at the top tier, right? What happens when I finally go to a show, finally get a babysitter for the kids? I finally like figured out my job situation in which I move my hours up for the next day and I go see you live and that fucking sound.
Yeah.
Yo, it's Trizz.
Yeah.
My bad, y'all. This shit crazy.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about even the reason why you don't really have them issues because you bring your own situation. But bro, when that show happened, it dawned on me. I was like, this right here is not a good look, and I can understand an Eminem. Not saying I'm on a level or nothing like shit. I can understand the protection of one's business and saying this is my brand.
Yeah, I'm trying to protect it, and I'm not even gonna give you an opportunity to fuck it up.
Could you imagine if I was a flower shop? I told you this off camera. If I was a flower shop and I pulled up, you pull up to my flower shop, that shit looks amazing on the outside, right? And imagine the flower shop is a representation of how our careers look to you on social media, on YouTube, all this shit, right? You're like, man, like this nigga Trizz got it, bro. He to me, like he one of the most important artists here on the West Coast. And then I go to a show and then I see you and you go in this flower shop. You're looking around this flower shop, that represents the venue. Yeah. Some of these flowers look cool. Some of these flowers look dead.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Changes your whole perspective.
Then I go to the counter and I'm telling you I'm interested in buying something, but even on the counter you got dead ass roses that are like, this is what represents you?
Yeah.
And then you tell a customer, nah, I promise you, bro. I know what it looks like. I know it's some dead flowers, but I'm telling you, if you buy from me, them shits is A1.
Yeah.
We're in the audio selling business.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we doing when the audio is not the first priority?
Yeah.
So when that happened, it's not the fact that it hasn't happened before. I sound very bougie and pretentious when I say this shit, but it's now the fact that I know better, and I'm like, what? Now I have to be protective of my brand.
Right.
I can't be popping up because what happens to that couple that would have brought two other friends the next show because the show was so fucking dope and the sounds and everything was A1. That's how you get people talking about it and wanting to share the information. But I think something that was dope that you told me is that you kind of have figured out how to avoid them situations by going on tour. And what is it like? Who did you hear this from, first of all? And what kind of things have you done proactively to make sure that that doesn't slack in terms of your presentation?
Well, shit, I was on tour with Ritz and Greaves, and like the first few shows or whatever, like I was running into audio problems as far as the microphone and all of that. And he had let me use his mic. Like, shout out to Greaves. That's one of them, like,
he one of the coolest, bro.
That is my boy. I like really fucking with Greaves. And like he told me straight up, he's like, Trizz, get your own mic. First he had a separate mic too. He had like Greaves is one of the most prepared artists when he goes to tour.
He really is.
Yeah, so
I opened up for him at UCR.
Okay, where
at the what is that called? What house? Not the ranch house, whatever. What that shit at UCR, and he came in there. They were like on a tour stop. He had all of his stuff prepared. But yeah,
first of all, when Greaves pull up, you think he's an employee of Greaves.
You sure do.
Like Greaves pulling up, he want to know everything, all the details. He want to know what's going on.
You are not protection of brand.
Bro, Greaves don't play.
I didn't do all this touring to come here and let you put a hole in this shit. I need this. I need this to be a successful merch stop because this might be the difference between what kind of hotel we get in the next spot.
Yeah, like Greaves really showed me everything about sound and like protection as far as it goes with your live show. So he was one of the first people. He is the only person that told me buy your own microphone.
What prompted that conversation though? Was it like, were you like,
I was mad about, it was a couple of times I got an attitude with the venues and like Greaves seen it, or I would tell him, and like I remember
what was you doing? Like, turn my fucking mic up.
One time.
I can hear it, Trizz. I can hear it. What was you doing?
Facts. So one time, and this ain't even related to audio, but one time I pulled up to Denver. We was performing at Cervantes. Was it Cervantes? I think it was. We was at Cervantes, and my name wasn't on the marquee.
Ooh.
And it just said Ritz and Greaves, and I got real upset.
Right.
And like he
strike one.
Right. Yeah. So Greaves was like, nah, we gonna situate that. Like, nah, tell them. Like, let them know. Like, Greaves taught me, I ain't gonna lie, he taught me a lot on tour. Like he's well spoken, he speaks up, he lets them know how his show is supposed to be run.
Right.
And like he's like, when we would go to sound check, he's making sure, like, he was teaching me words I didn't even know about audio, sound, like live music and shit. He was like, bro, I just took that in stride. And like to go back to what we were talking about as far as like the live show and the sound and everything like that. Like when my money really gets together, I'm pulling up on my own speakers. Like I'm really like if
as it should be,
you know,
because
what I'm saying?
I want to have protection of my brand, protection of my sound, and I care about that. Yeah. And it don't seem like a lot of rappers do.
No, I mean you got artists that's performing over their vocals, and that's a whole other conversation in itself.
Shit, no, that might be part of this conversation in itself because you know what I learned, and it took me doing a show. I think it was in it might have been Ontario. It might have been a show that I did, and it was like one of these like one of these like hood clubs. Yeah. Like it was like one of those where like soon as YG go on, like everybody in there turn up. Like it's small, it's hot as hell in there. The liquor is hella cheap. So I went there to do a show, and what I noticed is, yes, I'm with you, because that's one of that's in our culture, in our genre, nigga. You do not rap over your vocals. You
don't.
You do.
It's a live show.
You are a vocal performer. How pissed off would you be if you paid for them $500, $600 Beyonce tickets, who's a vocal performer? I know you're not a singer, but a vocal performer, and she's giving you a vocal performance live, and you pay $700 to be close up, and she lip syncs the whole thing, or just sings the ad libs of it.
And you can tell.
And you can tell. So I understand that. And I definitely am not advocating, but I will say this. This gave me a different perspective, because I used to be pissed off when I saw, like, nigga, why are you disrespecting the culture? But then I thought about this. In those nights, in those dive bars and them hood clubs, the music that sounds the clearest throughout the night is the music that the DJ plays.
Yeah.
So somebody said, if I just rap over what the DJ plays, it's going to sound clear.
Yeah. And there's also like, I want to say there's like a different there's different fan bases. Like you have the the strip club fan bases who really just want to hear the song and look at the artist.
Well, you know what? Can I just say this one time, because you did remind me? It's not so much about the clarity of their voice, but the cleanliness of the 808 in the bass. Because when a DJ play it, it's different than when you put a show mix up there.
Yeah.
When a DJ play it, it's like, you hear everything. So they're like, well, shit, bang my shit out like that, and then I'm going to just rap over the top of it.
Like, you got these artists who are getting the game with a hot single because they recorded it at a homie's house, and that shit just happened to blow up. Yeah. And we've seen that a gang of times. So they don't even have the experience of performing live. Yeah. So you got some of these people like that, some of these new niggas that really think that all they have to do is go up there and just grab their nuts and walk back
and
forth.
And just, wing it out.
Vibe like you're a fan. They just up there doing this. You feel me? Like, because they don't know.
How many shows you seen like that?
I see thousands of them. I always see that. Yeah,
where it's like, I be looking, like, especially when it's a song that they didn't brought all 8 people in. You know how many shows I did? How many dive bar shows where somebody didn't brought their whole family? Like they didn't brought their whole neighborhood in there, and They got that one song everybody know. And it's like the performer, you don't even know who the performer is. They got so many folks up on stage that everybody's singing the lyrics, and it's like, damn, you got that because you got a great song that's resonating. But if I'm new, I don't know who I talk to say whose song this is.
And imagine if those 30 people on stage would choose on the crowd.
Yeah, that's a different thing too. But once again, that requires you to have optics. That requires you to have optics of, all right, let me zoom out of this. So outside the lifestyle, outside the look, outside of it was a movie last night, which is something niggas overuse. Outside of this, it was a movie last night. Outside of all that shit, how was it for our business last night? Yeah. And I think that when you start looking at this and saying, like, when you have a realistic conversation, because I can't tell you how many times, that's one thing I don't miss about shows, is the amount of niggas that come up to me and tell me for no damn reason, you know, I'm the greatest rapper alive. Yeah. The fuck am I going to do with that information?
What am I going to do with that?
What you want me to do with that?
Straight up.
What now must change because you told me that? Yeah. I know that meant something to you to share that with me, but now I'm in a situation where it's like, what am I supposed to do with this?
That's why you got so many one-hit wonders, because
they just looking for that or what?
Also because they don't know how to
somebody said, a Tubi movie. That's insane.
No, straight up, like we come up in me and you, we come up in the game of like nigga, we thrive and we eat off of this. So like, let's just say that Curtis King one day, like when you first started, right. Your first song, your second song you did blew up, right? You wouldn't know how to
be hell.
You wouldn't know how to perform. You wouldn't know nothing about going to the merch booth.
I wouldn't care.
First of all, could you see a lot of these new niggas going to the merch booth, and like a lot of them, like they want to be famous and look cool so bad that they forget about how much money they could be making if they did go to the merch booth, if they did perform correctly, or if they did rehearse their songs and put out more music and put out hard copies and put out vinyl. Like,
you know what? You know what's crazy though?
Yeah.
The fucked up thing is this though, Trizz.
Fucked up.
What you said is absolutely, there ain't no lies detected. But when they look up and they see the biggest rappers in the game, and they see like, oh, I seen Lil Baby do this. Yeah. You not Lil Baby.
Oh yeah. See?
And he's doing that shit like he might be having a show where maybe you never know what happens behind the scenes where he's melding it in. He's not even doing most of the lyrics. He putting the microphone up, or he just like he just doing that. You don't know that maybe they said they don't have all the money for him or whatever the case may be. And on top of that, he's still doing that on a great sound quality on the system. Yeah. You doing this on a system that genuinely hurts people's ears, and when they go home, their ears are still ringing. You know how many shows you done been to where the DJ didn't overdid the speakers and you driving home in silence and your shit's still ringing?
Yeah. Straight
up. When the folks who are actually getting to it and making the money are doing it, how you gonna tell them? How do we tell them? Like, nah, you gotta be more professional than them. Lil Baby don't do this shit. Why I gotta do this shit? And it's like, dog,
comparison.
Dog, you're not in that.
You're not in that. You're not. That ain't you. Space. That's not even you.
What if you gotta work harder just to be even? What if you have to work harder, not because there's a possibility you're gonna be him, but what if you gotta work harder than him just to be 10% or make 10% of what he's currently generating, being a popular artist? Are you willing to do that? One, and two, do you know what that requires? Because you just brought up a good point in that of all them shows that we talking about, I know them shows because a lot of them folks is friends of mine, homies of mine, where it's like, you really got one right now. But if your campaign is only just push the song, it's so much money being left on the table. A lot of
people don't know how to do what we do. That's just the fact of it. It's just like they like, oh, like, okay, damn, I got me a hit, or I got me a street hit. I got a song that everybody loving, and they don't know what to do with it. Like, they, you know what I mean? That's why I be like, motherfuckers look at this rap shit and they look at it as just like something that's fun or a hobby and shit. I hate when motherfuckers call this shit a hobby, because I've been doing this just like you. We've been doing this shit since before the internet.
Yeah.
So I don't do this shit to look cool. So like the fact that y'all look at our job like it's funny or it's a hobby or something like that, I take that shit as an insult, and it's just like, bro, that's why that's why we are able to do certain shit that y'all not able to do.
That's
like,
the difference.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
Like tomorrow, if the internet shut down, I still know how to make money off of this.
And I'm not even hesitating on that. Like that's not even a question of like, what am I going to do? Like, no, I'm going to do what I had to start off doing, right?
I'm in your trunk, nigga. I'm in the trunk.
I'm in the trunk, but you know what? You know what Sutra is, and I'm noticing this. Okay, so I got pushback from a lot of different directions when it came to the whole streaming shit. And I hate to keep rehashing it, but it's relevant to the conversation.
Go ahead.
It was people that were obviously people who financially benefited off of artists wanting to pursue streaming. It was folks who benefited off of a direct to consumer type model, and then it was also people who all they know is I make a song, release a song, never got to show my face, never got to do content, none of that shit. They're used to making even a little bit of money or a lot of money if they go viral on SoundCloud or some shit. They're used to making a whole lot of money without having to deal with human beings. And when you really dice this shit down, these niggas are scared of people.
Yeah, straight up.
And I don't say that to like belittle anybody who deals with like social anxiety. That's a real thing. I know it's something that I definitely had my own bout with after the pandemic. I didn't want to touch people. I didn't want to be close to people because this shit was so scary. And I'm like, I got to take this home back to my family. Like, I can't be in that situation. However, though, you can't be in this game and be trying to sell a product, which is what we're doing. Even if you're streaming and you're not going direct, you're still selling a product. How can you be in this game and be afraid of the people? Like, it's producers, bro. I feel so good to talk about this shit. So it's producers like nerdy ass fucking producers who have never been stepped out. They ain't never hopped off the porch. They never stepped outside their city. And they're in a city where there is little to no crime. The kind of crime they have are jaywalking and littering. And they make these trapped out beats. I used to talk to the homie Epic about it. They make these trapped out beats for people that they would be terrified to have a conversation with. You scared of the niggas that you making music for, but you're not scared of taking their money. You scared of the niggas you making music for, but you would not. You're scared to talk to them, but you will accept their money. I think there's a brand of artists right now that are playing like they're doing all of this confrontational music and all of this, even like drill type shit. And these niggas will never leave the house. Asking them to have to go sell something sounds like a death sentence.
Yeah, nah, straight up. It's bro. I know somebody who you talking about. I was laughing like that because I know somebody
who fit that description.
Yeah, I know somebody who, bro, true story. Like we ain't cool no more, and I don't want to say his name. You know what I mean? He a lame ass nigga anyway, so I'm not even gonna give him no time. But like, he is that type of dude who like is in the backwoods of some fuck boy ass town, and like he's making these trap ass beats. He's like doing what, you know, like what hip hop is, right? And he's also an engineer, so he got motherfuckers that's coming to his lab that's like they like on some straight street shit. Crazy, you're not even prepared for that, and they be talking to him crazy, and they be saying like, and you could tell he's spooked. You could tell like you're not even prepared for that. You know what I'm saying? Like you putting yourself in this space, and yeah, he's that type of person. He don't leave his house unless it's to hang out with some squares, and that's cool. Like
that's your life. That's your life.
That's cool.
Just don't lie about that.
Exactly. And you putting yourself in these positions. Like people think that, like these producers think that they can't lie in their music like rappers do. Yeah. You feel me? Like,
wait a minute. You can't say that shit and just move on. You said that these producers feel like they can't lie in their music like producers, but they sure in the hell do. What do you mean when you say that?
I say that like if you making that type of shit, you feel me? You're gonna attract that type of attention. Feel me? Just like when the square ass nigga from the suburbs is talking about doing gangster shit, and then when that gangster shit pop up at his front door, then you not prepared for that. If you making them type of beats, you know who's coming for them type of beats. You know what type of energy that is.
You know what comes with that.
Exactly. You already know who you dealing with. So when you are making these trap ass beats and like you know who's buying them. And so when they show up and then they telling you they not gonna pay you and they gonna put the song out anyway, nigga, like you better be prepared to handle that.
But that's not what energy you on.
That's not what type of time you on.
You know what's funny? Like I went to a little convenience store around the house, and you know, ain't nothing but I don't put my stuff. I don't put my location out there. But I'm in a place where it is now for the first time in my life. It's more folks that don't look like me than people who do look like me. But this little white kid was sitting up in the 7-Eleven, and he walked up. First, his little brother walked up, and I could tell like his little brother had a little chain on, and then this little nigga pulls up with a Pooh Shiesty mask, and he like walked up to the Red Bull with like the shit he mimicked, like he had like a little walk to him, right? And I'm just looking at the little dude like I don't give them kids attention because I know like. They like, oh, like even if they don't know what I am, they like he close enough. Like let me. Oh, he got Nipsey shirt on. Oh,
let me put this mask on.
He did that, and he's a little boy. I ain't trying to get a little, but he was a little boy. He walked up, got his little. Yeah, I want this one. Talking to his little brother, and then his soccer mom, walks into the front. I said, I just know it's not this nigga's mama. His mama said, hey, I have the car running. Can you guys hurry up? Yeah. And he's like, yeah. And he walks by his mom, and mind you, like, you know how the lines is all messed up in the 7-Eleven where, like, you have to, like, go in an aisle to be in a line?
Yeah.
He walked by me, and I didn't know he was walking up to me. I just heard his mom. And I heard the most gentleman voice I ever heard in my life. He said, excuse me, sir. In the Pooh Shiesty mask. Excuse me, sir. All that energy that was, excuse me, sir. And I'm like, damn, do you know how many... You know he's a microcosm. He is a avatar for the people that we're talking about that are able to benefit off the culture. And there's a lot of artists that come in here and do this shit where they like they sample the culture. We may sample records, they sample the culture. They get what they want from it and they say, I'm a rock star now. I'm off of this shit. Like I'm out of here. You know?
Straight up. Perception is a motherfucker, bro.
Yeah.
The way you carry yourself and the way you walk out the house and the way you want to look and act like I tell people so many. I tell people like a motherfucker, like it costs nothing to be yourself, and you benefit more by being yourself. I swear to God, you do. Like if you are like the word square, it's only an insult if you want to be something that you're not.
Damn, that's a good point.
Like,
that's a great point.
You feel me? Like I know to my homies, like I hang around some real deal cats.
Yeah.
Like to them I'm a square because I don't indulge in that activity. Like I'm not outside doing certain things.
Right.
Like I've never sold drugs. I've never, you know, I mean I didn't been in the streets, you know what I mean? I didn't you know, I didn't hop fences and ran from the police. I didn't did all of that type of shit, but I still don't consider myself a gangster. But I consider myself somebody who has indulged in certain activity that has, you know, I mean, just like
it's a reason why you in the room. It's a reason why you in the room.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But I never want to like put on the costume because when it's time to really wear it, it ain't no. It's not a game. Like what,
bro?
When your number get called. It's not a game
because they're not expecting you to do. An acting job. They expecting you to show and be that. But you know what's crazy? Like, and I learned this from Glasses.
Yeah.
Because I used to ask the question, like, Glasses would show love. He been showing love to my music since I was doing a Ticophobia, and I was, you know, I was a young Curtis. And I'm like, what does Glasses crippin' ass see in my music? And my music at that time was like, it was like the super Curtis inspirational, like introspective, lyrical, da-da-da-da. And he was like, I'll tell you exactly what it is. He said, I fuck with authentic shit.
Yeah.
And that's authentic to who you are.
Authenticity. Yes.
He like, I don't listen to this shit where somebody's trying to be like me because I know what that is. And I know I can just sniff it off of you. Like, you're not about any of that shit. But I think there's a reason why, like, there's a lot of folks that are in my circles that people would never even understand. Like, what do y'all have in common? And it's like authenticity.
Yeah.
And this comfortability and like, I know who I am and I know who I am, who I'm not. And I know when I get in certain places, I will be the square. But at the same time, I'm like you said, you're not square because who you are is not like, that's not worth anything. You square, you only square when you come in that situation, you're trying to be something that you're not.
Yeah, it's like, oh, nigga, you ain't that.
Stop that. But it's, but I feel like that's also something that independent artists coming back to this. That's something independent artists, like, I don't think they recognize how dangerous of a game that is because, nigga, you can get touched.
Yeah, bro. Like,
when Drake pulls up, it's damn near 7 or 8 black trucks like he the somebody president, like he Canadian president.
Yeah.
He can talk all of that spicy shit and all of that. That's another topic we can talk about, but he can talk all of that. But if you talk that, niggas know what your tour schedule is. I know what time you're on stage. I know your car because you always post that up.
That's why, bro. That's why. That's why I've always like told people like I don't do diss records and beef. I don't do that. Like, and I say that because like I know the situation. I'm not a superstar, bro. I'm not. Like, I can be touched. Like, I don't have 24-hour security. You feel me? Like, I done been in situations where, like, you know, when I was coming up, you know, 19, 20, 21 years old, like, you know, I was dissing niggas around the neighborhood that that was coming for me because that's just what it was and it was just fun. But now that I am who I am, I done had people that come for my neck on songs and dissing me and shit. But, like, I take that very seriously because I know that I'ma see you. You can see me. We're not walking around with 24-hour security. Like, don't look at the rap game and think like, oh yeah, they Drake and Pusha T did it, so I can do it. No, like, nigga, it ain't that. Because the shit that nigga, the shit that fucking Pusha T said about Drake, like, nigga, at my level, like, nigga, what are you talking about? Like, when I see you, it's cracking.
You bringing my kids into this shit.
Yeah.
When I see you,
nigga.
I'm willing to lose my freedom for that.
Period. I don't have nothing to lose versus these niggas. So when like you said, when Drake pull up, he got 20 security guards, 5 black trucks when he pull up. So obviously he's able to pop that shit, and rightfully so. I'm not taking nothing away from Drake. I listen to Drake. What I'm saying is, it's like it's a certain level. It's levels to this shit. And you can't. And why would you want to make yourself a crash dummy? Well, you don't have to make yourself that. And I think certain people. That's what I love about your music too. Is like you always, to me, you give me the same a cause and effect that I thought was a success of G Unit and of 50 Cent. They were, to me, were like the last generation of artists that gangster music. But it's gangster music to me. Is the gangster part about it is not that you talking a whole bunch of crazy shit or spicy shit. It's the fact that it's like, you did this, and this is why I'm doing this. I'm protecting this. This is why you getting this response. I'm like this because of this situation. Like when you give a cause and effect, it's almost like you give a more complete picture of it. But when you just like, I got people who submit music, bro. I've had people who submitted music from bar one. They shooting everything and anybody moving. Oh yeah. And I'm just looking at it. I'm like, there's no content there.
Why?
No
I'm not saying like there's a justified. Well, I guess there is a justified reason if you want to protect yourself. But in that situation, I'm like, why? What's the rhyme or reason? And they're like, I don't need one.
For sure.
I'm on demon time.
For sure.
And then at what point? What's the end? What's the end goal with that shit?
Whenever because I speak about that a lot. Like I tell in my songs, you may hear me say like, I got a strap on me, or I'm riding like this, or not, I'm protected and respected. I'm telling you, like, nah, it's on me because, like, nigga, I know y'all with the business. I'm letting you know, like, nigga, I gotta protect myself. Y'all niggas out here tripping.
I'm not a lick.
So, like, I'm not a lick. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I'm looking at it. I'm not saying I'm Rambo, like, because everybody, like, somebody can beat up Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson can beat your ass. Everybody know somebody can dunk on Shaq, but everybody know
will come along with that.
It will come with that. You know what I mean?
You better catch that hard foul.
You gotta be ready for. You gotta be ready for what come with that. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. Like you said, there's a cause and then there's an effect. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so you want to be big Billy Badass? Explain to me why you think that's what you are. You know what I mean?
Because then you got to keep that's what I think about certain music. I used to always make this argument about, like, at one point in time there was a certain like brand of music on the West Coast that was supremely confrontational. It was like it was getting to a dangerous place, and I was like, of course your shows are gonna have that same mentality, because it's like when you make, let's just use the term real nigga music. Like when you make, like, let's just say that's what it is. You're having a real nigga convention when you do a show. That's not a live show. You are attracting everybody who agrees with that hook that says, ain't nobody fucking with me and I wish you would. That is now you gotta like think of that as a conference. What happens at a business conference when you say like it's a marketing conference for anybody who is in the real estate? It's a bunch of folks in suits and ties who think I'm the next person that needs to get this game because da-da-da-da. It's the same situation when we have certain music that attracts certain folks, but you got to know what you attracting. And then also too, like, I don't want to lose sight of the business of this, and that Jay-Z could not be here rapping like Jay-Z in '96.
What
like
you mean?
Jay-Z couldn't be where he's at the level he's at, rapping the same way he did on Reasonable Doubt. Yeah. And I'm not saying like he was talking like crazy, because I think he was even like more so. He was really sophisticated at the jump, but I think that there's certain lessons that he learned along the way that was like, what I say is what I attract. Now here I am, literally living some of the storytelling that I was telling.
Living proof.
Nas another one of them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like I really would love to talk to Nas and ask him like, how did it change your writing when you started to approach becoming a billionaire, or whatever he is, or he had like I think he either had investments that got him into like a multi-millionaire, if not billionaire. He got like at least 100 millions, I want to say. But when you started approaching that, how does that change your writing? Yeah. Because can you still write new stories from the perspective of somebody struggling in Queensbridge?
I'm glad you said that, because it takes me to the conversation about Andre 3000, and I got really mad. We
never talked about that. You got mad too?
Okay, look, so
I know they sick of me talking about it. I'm gonna let you talk about that.
And after this topic, I want to read the comments.
Let's go ahead.
That's cool. But after right after this,
get the conversation.
We gonna read the comments.
Get the comments ready. We're gonna definitely engage. But I'm glad we had this conversation. Talk about it, Trizz. Talk about that, because we haven't talked about that.
Okay, first of all, nigga, that Flute album pissed me the fuck off. Okay, so like let's lay that.
What do you mean it pissed you off, Trizz? It's supposed to relax you, bro.
Bro.
Let it relax you, bro.
And at the same time, who gives a fuck what Trizz thinks? So, like, let's lay that down on the line.
Bro, but you need to listen to the Flute album and relax, bro.
I'm saying, bro, like, and then his excuse was, I don't have nothing to talk about. Like,
bro.
First of all, I don't know what's going on in another man's head.
Gotta acknowledge that.
And he's entitled to that. But, like, a lot of people was trying to defend him, like, yeah, well, shit, he's 47 years old. I'll be thinking, like, nigga, Snoop Dogg is 51. Jay-Z is 52 or 3. Nas is 50. Like, nah, there's stuff you can talk about. You just talk about what's going on now. If you think that's boring and you don't want to do it, then cool. But, like,
I'm going to pull this up while you're talking about this.
Bro,
I'm about to mess you up. Go ahead. Continue.
Andre 3000 is an amazing artist, and I'm a fan. So I was low-key offended by that shit. I was just like, what the fuck is, like.
Where's your mindset?
What are you doing?
What do you mean?
And it's okay. All right, for sure. Like I said, you're entitled to put out whatever you want to put out. You can do whatever you want. Like,
at this stage, you've already given. Yeah. You've given enough to where it might be the. Yeah. He might have given two careers in one. Yeah. Because he was able to transition from the southern playalistic Cadillac funky music to the ATLians Andre to Love Below Andre. Like there is different. Yeah. He's been here for a minute, so you can do whatever you want, but don't
to say you don't have nothing to talk about. It to me is bullshit.
That's my only qualm with it. Like people who come to the defense don't realize that the folks who are making these critiques are folks who are fans. It's not somebody forcing anybody to rap. It's just this. You reserved a hotel room. Don't shit on the floor on your way out.
Yeah, straight up.
Your stay probably had a lot of positives, had a lot of negatives we can't even see, right? Yeah. And now as you're leaving, you're like, I don't know if there's a reason for me at 48 to stay in this place. Yeah. I mean, what am I gonna do? It's only one room in a hotel. Like it's only 2 rooms, bathroom in the. Like I'm done here, right? Yeah. Don't shit on the floor on your way out when there's people who are walking into this room and saying like, damn, but look at how tall the ceilings is. Yeah. And I feel like some of these interviews just feel so unnecessary because it's like, are you trying to take other people with you?
Yeah, and then like I feel like nigga, y'all scared to say this shit is trash. Nobody want to hear this shit. Like let's be honest. Like y'all so quick to put down the motherfucker that's like barely making it, but then like somebody who's like thriving and like a legend, he puts out some bullshit. Say that. Like he needs to know that. Like we don't want to hear this, bro. We don't fucking want to hear it. No, nigga, we want you to rap. We're not. I'm not about to empathize and sympathize with that shit. That shit was whack as fuck, and I don't want to hear it.
And I think the only reason, and I'm with you, and the only reason I'm like 1,000% with you, because I will usually come to the defense, but I'm 1,000% with you because it's like, once again, you didn't have to shit on the floor on the way out. Because I saw multiple interviews where he came back and started having more conversations about like, you know, well, look at the state of rap and the production I got, I was uninspired by, and I'm like, well, do what we all do and find others. Or you make your own shit.
Nah, fact.
He produced. People don't know he produced A Day in the Life of Andre Benjamin, one of my favorite beats. He produced for himself, plus one of the favorite songs because of the way he delivered them lyrics. It will be one thing. Like, I think it's also a compliment to how great he is, in that people are angry because of how fucking great you were.
Yeah. Oh my God.
You step to a level that 98% of people who choose to do this here rapping will never be able to accomplish. And not to say that you are old. Like, I understand the idea of having a fan base and feeling like, damn, I feel enslaved to them. When do I get to do what I want to do? I get that. But then there's also another part of it that's like, but don't act like that's not the reason we care. Because that is the reason we care.
Yeah, no, straight up.
And don't make me don't put the message out there for somebody like me who's like already having like, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. At turning, and I'm gonna hand it over to you, but in turning 39 this year, I keep bringing it up because I'm still thinking like, what does this look like at 40? Yeah. Because every example that I've seen, I shouldn't say every, but most of the examples I've seen that are not already like in a certain tier, if they're not independently already dominating, folks will look at you a certain kind of way.
Up and down.
And it's like, when you look at these folks, bro, like, that's why I get so inspired by watching Brian. But I'm like, niggas talk about him like he's an 83-year-old out here balling. And it's like, you're like, at 39 years old, he's still dunking it. Well, the nigga is still 6'9".
Yeah.
He could, Vince Carter's still dunking at 40, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at this and I'm like, damn, I do have my times where it's like, damn, is this too young of me to, is this too da-da-da, is this too... And then I just get to a place where I'm like, nigga, just right.
Bro, age is a mindset.
Definitely.
Like,
definitely.
So, like, I see this comment. Scroll up. I really want to, I think her name is, hold on.
Sasha? Sasha, yeah.
She said, referring to Andre, go back.
I was right here.
Okay. Referring to the Andre topic, you don't have to talk about what you're going through in this exact moment. You could talk about past experiences.
Facts.
That is like exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, a lot of the shit that I rap about, as I'm sure you do, is shit that I went through.
That's the point.
Like, exactly. We're putting pen to pad. We're trying to express to you, whether it be trying to teach y'all something so you don't have to go through it, whether it just be like something that you can relate to, whether it be an ex-girlfriend or a failed marriage or, you know what I mean, a relationship that went sour. Like, a lot of this shit is like, we're making music for somebody that is going through it. You know what I mean? Like, I may put out a song about, you know, struggling financially and I was homeless and this, that, and the third. I'm speaking to somebody who's going through that right now.
What?
You know what I mean? And that's what's good about music. It's like, when I hear that, it's like, damn, I can relate to that. So yeah, that's a good point.
I'll say this too. I have to call myself out on this, because I was getting ready to say what 3 Stacks could also approach is those feelings that you're expressing in this interview, you could express that in the music. But then I thought about how angry I get when I hear Eminem talking about how much he don't want to rap. Or like the struggle of rapping, or the mind, the writer's block. So you end up making raps about rapping to people who don't rap. So I understand how that can get stale as well. But at the same time, it's like, I just know the way that you're going to approach it is much different than what an Eminem's going to approach it. Eminem's great for being Eminem, but you're great for being who you are. I just, at this point, it's like, dog, I look at this 300, 400 years from now, and I look back and I'm like, somebody's going to dig through all of the Trizz catalog. They're gonna dig through the Curtis. They're gonna dig through all these folks' catalog, and they're gonna ask questions about, let's just say hip hop in general. They're gonna ask questions about this time period in our era. We are the ones who are documenting this shit in real time. We're telling stories that are relevant to us in real time, whether it's past, present, doesn't matter. It's in this window of time. Somebody's gonna look at this era and say, that's dope. Like, a lot of folks are doing some great things in their 20s and 30s. What happened to the 40-year-olds? Why is it that the numbers start to trickle down and start to get a little less and less the older people got? And it's like, is it because they couldn't do it anymore? No, because they chose to podcast instead.
Yeah.
No, because they were so. Tell me what you think about. I'm sorry, I'm ranting, but let me tell you this.
No, go ahead.
Let me ask you this. Isn't that shit funny as fuck, Trizz? That these niggas come up. I'm not somewhat 3 Stacks, just in general. Just think of like gangster rap. They come up saying, man, fuck the system, man. Man, fuck society. I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna wear my shit the way I'm gonna wear my shit. Ain't nobody gonna tell me about how I should feel about my image. And then they get to a certain age, and they like, I'm insecure about how this looks.
Insecure about it, yeah.
How do I look doing?
Yeah, doing this at 45. But like you know what changed the dynamic is shout out to Conway the Machine, shout out to Benny.
They really did.
Shout out to West Side Gun. You
They
feel
really
me?
did.
Shout out to all the homies like that. You feel me? Like they made rap cool
In the stage.
In that stage. It's like, nigga, them niggas got I like that's why I be telling people like, nigga, don't stop doing what you doing. Like shout out to Jelly Roll. He just got
shout out to Jelly Roll for real.
Shout out to Jelly Roll. He fucking just got best new artist in the country in country music at 39 years old.
39 years old. What
Come
the
on.
hell, bro?
Don't stop doing what y'all doing. Age ain't nothing but a number.
Yeah.
And that is why I continue to keep doing what I'm doing, on top of not comparing myself to others. Like, first of all, it is a complete, I don't know y'all religious beliefs, and I'm not religious either. I'm no religion. I just believe in God and a higher power, and right and wrong, and hell and heaven. But it is a direct insult to whatever you believe.
The source of these talents.
Yeah, it's a direct insult for you to compare yourself to anybody. To be like, oh, well, why I don't have that cool shirt, or why I don't have $1 million, or why I don't have a badass bitch, or why I don't have that Ferrari.
I agree.
Like, nigga, appreciate what you got now, and then you'll get more. Straight up.
And a solid point all the way around. And then also too, how do you know what you're designed to be isn't greater than how you view the thing you want to be?
Ooh.
How do you know the thing that you're supposed to be isn't greater than the thing that, like, you ever listen to some music and you catch some shit and you like, damn, this is what makes this shit dope. Then you tell somebody else and they're like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
What you mean you don't get it?
Yeah.
This is the best part about it.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I like his voice, or I like the beat selection. Everybody has a different experience. So we sometimes get so obsessed with the way that we see somebody and we're like, yo, he got it. He got it. That's the biggest artist in the world. Yet and still, to your little brother, your little cousin, them seeing you do it, you the biggest.
Yeah.
Y'all on the same level to them.
Yeah.
So not to say that that's the truth in general, but that's their perspective.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, your story, your journey is valuable, and you got to live that shit out. And I think there's a lot of people who are realizing it because they're seeing it through other people. But I think even just to kind of bring it full circle with Andre, I think there's some people who are looking at Andre and they're happy he said that, because they're like, I'm tired of lying. I don't want to rap no more. It's just sad that it comes from one of the, in my opinion, the greatest rappers in the fucking era. But him saying that made somebody say, I was afraid of what people would say, who I am without rap, who I am without doing this job. Because there's some people who have been like, oh, that's so-and-so that work at Costco. He's been that for his whole life. They ask the question like, well, who am I without Costco?
Yeah.
So I look at that and say he represents a demographic. But I tell you this, bro, I come back into this and I'm like, I looked, we talking about this. I ain't gonna say no name, but I came around, I was like, niggas, we still doing this shit?
Yeah, no, for sure.
I'm out this. I'm out.
No, straight up.
I'm not no fucking way I come back here, because I'm taking time away from the family. I'm taking time away from doing shit at home that could really move the needle and all that. No. If I come back and do this, I'm gonna do it my way. I'm not gonna let no middleman take no money from the. I'm not letting none of that. What's gonna happen is I'm gonna get these ideas off, and I'm gonna walk away from this on E.
And you know, like, repetition is hell.
What do you mean?
Something that's like when it's over and okay, if I sat you in a room, right, and I played the same song over and over again.
Oh, that's torture.
No, for an hour.
For an hour.
Like, you just got to sit there and listen to the same song for an hour.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm saying, like, when something becomes, like, repetitive and there's no progress, that is, like,
you realize that's hell for us, though.
Yeah.
Do you realize as people, like in that example, yes, that specific example, there are people who torture people by having them, like that do that as a form of torture.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you could argue that people's bad habits are also repetition.
Yeah.
So I wonder if
okay. Oh yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So like, okay, so when you and I are the people that are sitting in this room. Let's just give an imaginary room. You and I are the people who are sitting in this room. Everybody's zombied the fuck out. They're conked out. They're looking at shit. They're like,
yeah. Oh
same
God,
kick snare. They're like, this is my life. My life consists of this. And then you said, man, hell no. You took the headphones off. You're standing up right now. And I feel like it's the same period I'm in now where it's like, no, hell no, no. And you look crazy because everybody else doesn't see a problem with the program. What do you mean? This is what we always listen to. So that's what I'm saying. I think it's important to also acknowledge those moments where it's like, no. That's also what makes Trizz.
Yeah, for sure.
The fact that you would get irritated by it. Because you know how many folks out here is okay with mediocrity?
Oh,
They wear that shit like a blanket.
very content.
Bro.
Content.
Content. As much money as this shit requires, as much time that I invested into this, like 20 years, man, I try not to even think, like when I sit there and like my brain goes through like a mental rewind, like, and I start thinking about all the little details, all the sessions, all the writing, all the I start to feel old.
Yeah.
But when I sit up here and I'm like, that was yesterday, nigga. What the best of me is yet to come. I have to start this today. I feel young all over again. It's a weird experiment, but next time you talk to somebody, ask them to close their eyes and then think about a moment in their life from the past. Then tell them, think about a moment from their life in the future. Watch how their chin moves. It's weird. It's weird. Their chin moves a certain direction. We tend to look down when we're recalling what happened in the past. We look up when we're looking towards the future. Now think about how many rappers we meet. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So like this last week, I was doing this and then think about how many folks that we meet that are like, man, so the shit that I'm working, you do this. I don't know if you know, it's like a physiology shit. You'll be like, man, bro, like, so I'm about to do this one project with it because your mind is in the future.
Yeah. Super looking forward.
Bro, I realized I was talking to a lot of people, man, that are here because they're focused in on the past. And when you're focused in on the past, like it's hard to talk to somebody who's always up here because that shit feels opposite of your energy. What I'm realizing is like when you catch yourself, you also have to run with that because if you try to use that energy to get people to catch up with you, bro, they're not even out of this phase yet.
Yeah.
They're going to stay here until they're sick and tired, like you said, like, I'm sick of this shit,
so many people get, like a lot of people are not innovative and they don't, nigga, all this shit is the long game. All of it is being patient. And so like what you were saying about like, you know, a nigga like that's innovative will be thinking into the future. So when somebody hears it, somebody that's not like that, they sound crazy.
It sounds like a foreign language.
It sounds, oh yeah, for sure.
What you mean? You talking about for the weekend? What we gonna do? Right. I'm talking about the next 10 years of your life.
Bro,
what?
Bro, the first step is starting.
It's starting.
It's starting, like getting up and doing it. So like when people like our ideas, we gonna get to that comment too.
Yeah, she got some great questions. So yeah,
our ideas and shit sound crazy to somebody who is not on that level.
Yeah.
You know, nigga walk in the room. You know what I mean? To a bunch of motherfuckers who just like, you know, everyday thinking is just like, okay, wake up, go, you know, go to bed, you know, do the routine. But if I come in the room and I tell you like, man, look, I got a way to make $1 million. It's gonna take us 2 years. But, you know how many people are scared to invest $5?
Invest? How about they don't even want to work for They don't want they want you to hold their hand.
Bro, so that's what I'm saying. So like a lot of this shit that people be talking about and that are in our shoes, it is so far gone until they see it. Until like they see so many people, they say like niggas don't believe it till they see it.
They don't, bro.
You know what I mean? Like,
Trizz, you know how many times I was like, you know how many times in my head I'll be like, Curtis, shut up.
Yeah.
You doing that shit again.
Yeah.
You doing that shit again, and nobody cares until you do it.
Nobody cares.
So now, like, bro, I'm using this next. Like, I don't know what this is gonna look like because and I feel like we're gonna say that for another day. But I don't know what making myself less available looks like. Yeah. All I know is it has to happen.
It has to happen.
Not on no Hollywood shit, but it's like on preservation of new energy. I got a new energy about me. Yeah. I'm in here writing every day. You know what does it? You know what I know would have drained me? If I was in everybody's studio session. Yeah. And you know something, I thought like this, you know how my brain be thinking. Yeah. You know how many times I've been in studio sessions and I realized like, nigga, we're sitting in a room full of other niggas' exhales. If you thought like think about it for a second. Like when you exhale, if you believe in like even like to a certain degree, like spirits, you believe like an energetic force comes out of you. When somebody tells you like, yo, you good, bro? And they say,
yeah.
There's an energy in that room, bro. Like that shit shifts. Yeah. So imagine when niggas do this.
Yeah.
Thinking of lyrics, imagine the rap and all. Like imagine all that energy in the same place. To me, when you're around that constantly, that shit is draining because now it's like you're absorbing all of that and you taking that home, taking a little bit of that home with you. So now I'm like, bro,
you taking all that energy home with you, bro.
You ever go into an interview and you like, yo, I don't like the energy in this shit. Nobody said a word to you. You just like, no, this shit feels draining already. Yeah. But let's answer. I'm gonna let you answer this question right here. And I'll answer after you. Saja said, and shout out to Saja, you've been asking some great questions. Yeah. Do you and Trizz do ads marketing for your music? Also, how important do you think it is for an indie artist to put money behind promotions? It's a great question.
To answer your question, me and Curtis definitely put money behind our marketing.
Yeah.
I mean,
ads specifically though.
Ads specifically, yes, I do. Is it effective? I mean, I would say so. I mean, it's not super effective. I mean, you have to. I mean, it's a business when you putting money into like ads. Like the more money you put in, the more looks you're gonna get. You know what I mean? It all depends. And as far as you said, how important do you think it is? Oh, it's super important to put money behind promotion. I mean, you have to be in the eyes of the people. I mean, you know, when I go outside, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm always trying to market myself in terms of like if I go do a show or if I go do, I've done like, you know, meet and greets and shit like that. Like all that is part of promotion. You know what I'm saying? How I market myself, I may wear one of my t-shirts that I got for sale. You know what I'm saying? Like one of the biggest things that like I've learned in this game is selling yourself. And I got some advice when I was watching, not directly, but I was watching an interview with Master P on Drink Champs.
Nice.
Okay, so he was like, nigga, I used to go down to like the most ran down part of New Orleans and I would just give out my merch. I would just give a whole bunch of No Limit t-shirts, No Limit sweaters to the homeless. Nigga, that is like genius.
Because they're gonna wear it every single day until they can't wear it no more.
Like, you have to have something that sticks out. So like logos, you know what I mean? Like something that represents you.
Easy to digest.
Easy to digest. You know what I'm saying?
Because like, some folks got shit that if you don't zoom in a 400%, you don't know what that shit is.
Yeah,
you ever seen a logo like that where it's too much shit going on?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And they got too many like inside meanings.
Yeah, bro.
Whenever this triangle stand for this. This circle right here and this dot on it. No, you're doing too much.
Bro, whenever you see a half-bitten apple, what is that?
It's an apple. Whenever
you see the swoosh, what is it?
That's Nike.
Exactly. They've made it so like marketable to where it don't even have to have no letters attached to it. Bro. You feel me?
They can just say do it in their font.
Just do it.
Exactly
what the fuck does just do it is? You feel me what I'm saying?
That's what it is. But
I'm loving it. What's that?
That's McDonald's.
Exactly.
That's like it's so embedded in us, but we think it don't apply to us. But it's like no, it does apply to us.
That's all promo and marketing.
All promo. So I was gonna say about ads. My mentality with ads has always been, if I can't figure out what's working organically, I'm not gonna let money just go down the drain.
Yeah.
Unless, like, you got to understand, when you get into the advertisement end of things, and I didn't learn this until I went to YouTube. When you get in the advertisement space, you're no longer just competing with other rappers that have advertisement money. You're competing with corporations.
Businesses.
You're competing with businesses in general. They got to go through the same avenues as you in terms of going through the same platforms to get their shit off. And their money is a whole lot longer than your $300, $400, right?
Fact.
So if you're going to go into advertisement first, do what they don't want to do. They throw money at the problem because they can.
Yeah. And always go ahead.
I was going to say, you can't afford to play that game yet until you get yourself in a place where you can do that. Fact. Matter of fact, they'll bid against what you're putting on YouTube. They'll bid against your own shit on your own channel to get more space on your own shit.
Facts.
I'll say this last thing, and then I'm going to pass it back to you, is that when it comes to the ads, I'm always doing it in small increments, because what I've learned about platforms like Facebook, with platforms like even well, obviously Facebook and Instagram is the same thing. Put small amounts of money into it. These algorithms and these entities work harder for you because they want you to see some kind of results. Don't forget, as much as a lot of these platforms seem like they're just swallowing all the money and they don't want to see you win. No, they want to see you win, because if you win, you spend.
No, facts.
You spend more and more and more. So
go ahead.
I was gonna say, so the boosted post is definitely something that I'll do first.
That works.
Before I even go into doing like a full-on ad campaign and like the business manager on Facebook, I'll just put like $5-10 behind a post that already got motion, because what's gonna happen is, if you let that shit ride organically and then you put money behind a boosted ad, people are gonna come there and see that and see it has social proof. Oh, people already fuck with this? I'm definitely downloading the song, streaming the song. I'm gonna say one last thing about this. What she said, how important do you think indie artists to put money behind promo? I think it's important when you got something that works. And I think too many artists they're trying to A/B split test. And they don't have A/B. They don't even have A money. Right. You trying to A/B split test two different scenarios. You don't even have enough money to test one of them. Better yet, two different situations. So I think it is definitely important to put money behind the promotion, but figure out what works first, and then see how much you can push that, because it's going to be a lot less money when you can get your numbers off organically, and then all of a sudden you get brand deals and you didn't even got to spend your money. You spending other people's money to do your advertisement. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you good. I also want to throw this in there before we get to the next comment, is think as a consumer. What annoys you? What attracts you? I always try to think as a consumer. Like, I never want to be in the face of the consumer. I never want to be like, buy my shit. Like that doesn't work. Don't ever think that works. That does not work. But just think about like how many times you bought shit because you seen it on the commercial. Like what is it? Like a lot of people, a lot of companies create jingles. You know what I mean? Like everybody knows like the jingle. I know jingles of song like advertisement.
I ain't seen a commercial when
like
I ain't seen a commercial in years.
I ain't seen it in years, but I remember. I remember phone numbers because of jingles.
This might be before your time, but if I hum this, dun 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 dun.
Wait, nah, Lord.
Dun 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 dun.
No, I don't know.
I want to look. They already get in there. Look, like Mike. That might be before your time.
Yeah.
But if I do, what's another one?
What, Cash Now? What? Damn, that's definitely before my time.
That's like, for the best car insurance race in town, call 1-800-GENERAL now. But the point is still proven is that once it's embedded, nigga, it's embedded.
Yeah.
Jay-Z Wentworth.
I was about to say the Jay-Z Wentworth, 877 Cash Now, that one. And then what's that? That Sin and Sleep would beat any advertised mattress price. Yo, that's screen.
Oh my god, bro! I used to be one of them latchkey kids that was watching all these fucking commercials on the way. So I remember, like, they're embedded in my soul. I don't know what to do with this information. Trizz, if there's ever a game show and they say, "Can you name that theme?" We about to go get a bag. We're about to go get an indie bag there.
Bro.
But man, ACDC College. Oh no, what is it? Remember Romeo did it. Romeo did the rap for the ECDC, whatever it was, ECDC college.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Jingles is where it's at.
Remember the black dude on when you was watching Maury, but like the commercial would come on, he's trying to get you to go to college, and that nigga's like in a apartment building, and he's like,
wait, now you talking about
like, why are you wasting your time sitting on the couch?
You know what? I interviewed him, right?
For real?
Bro, I gotta send you that video. Bro, we had, so first of all, he's drove out here, bro. Shout out to Tunde, man. That's Baba Tunde.
Oh my God.
Baba Tunde came out here, and I did like random. I was coming up with content, right? And I was like, bro, this is crazy. This is the scariest thing ever. That's how I knew it was a moment. He was like, it was ICDC college. Yeah, you're right.
ICDC.
So, bro, I was like thinking of content ideas, and I was like, bro, I want to make a video of what happened to the Everest College. I was like, what happened to him? And then I was like looking up his name, like on Google searches, found his name. Then I found his Instagram, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna just DM him and see if he'd be down for me to like do an interview. He was following me
already.
Then I got nervous because you know I'll be saying like in my videos, in my YouTube videos, I quickly say some shit like, "What you think I am, like the Everest College guy or something?" And I was like, "What if he didn't like that energy?" But he already had knew about, I guess, my content, and he's a rapper.
No shit.
He's a rapper. He goes by Baba Tunde, like political rapper too. He's dope, and so he's based in the AZ, bro. He came out here and he was like, "Yo, not only will I do the interview, he's like, he said I could have given this to any platform. I've been approached." He's like, "But I like the fact that you a family man, you a godly man." And he came out here, bro, and like that's like I'm gonna send you the video because the video's kind of fire. But with that said, bro, like the jingles is important. I wanted to ask you one thing, and I'll get to this last thing. We can kind of start wrapping it up. But how do you without giving away your game, because this is your strategy, and you talking to probably folks out here who think they're competition or whatever. But what does your balance look like when it comes to social media of like when is it time to promo and when is it time to like when do you send somebody directly to your merch store, or when do you send people directly, or do you even do that?
Yeah, I do. I just don't try to, like I said, I try not to be hard pressed. When I feel like, you know, sales are low, or I feel like, you know, I'm not really giving, or I never want it to look like, oh, please buy my shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? I also try to make it look like, you know, eye tasting.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I don't want it to look boring. Yeah, you know what I mean? I don't put long descriptions.
FOMO.
You know what I'm saying?
A little bit of FOMO too. You gotta add that, because if it look like I need y'all to buy this shit.
Yeah. No, I also like to make it look like without like, you know, giving up my game, like you said. I like it to make it look like, look, man, just come check my shit out, bro. Like I want you to know that I'm not trying to demean you as like, damn, that's a terrible way to say it.
No, I understand what you're getting at. I understand what you're getting at. And that there is and that's why I asked you this question, because I think a lot of artists do struggle with the balance between I have to promote it, but at the same time, like there is an over promotion that's like, if Amazon started over promoting, maybe in the beginning we don't even look at it, but maybe like 3-4 years it's like, yo, why do they do that?
So like I'll like
are y'all broke?
Right. Okay, this is what I do. Let's say like we got 7 days in a week, right? Within that week, I'm posting a photo. I'm posting something about my personal life. It may just be some you know what I mean, I may be out with the wife or something, you know what I mean, we had a fly ass restaurant. I try to like keep my socials relatable to the average person. Okay. You know what I mean? You're not about to come to my page and see a whole bunch of promotions for my music. That is fucking annoying.
I'll tell you one thing, the extreme version of that, and I'm going to put you back on camera. The extreme version of that is when niggas put SoundCloud, it is soundcloud.com. Their Instagram. Screenshot. I don't even know what you look like. I'm not following that,
bro. That's annoying.
I'm not following that because you about to make my timeline look trash,
bro. First of all, on my page, y'all can go to my Instagram. All my pictures are high quality. All my videos are super high quality. Like
I ain't never seen you with a bad haircut day, bro. This nigga refuses. He refuses to show any.
Nah, straight up. Oh yeah, I faithfully.
Like how does nigga get waves? He ain't going through no woofing stage.
Nah, very like bro. As you know,
this nigga always got a fresh cut.
Real chop. As you know, bro, like presentation is everything.
Yeah,
and
we talked about that last time.
I don't want like my social media, any of my social media, to be an eyesore.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like when I tweet, it's something funny, meaningful, or informative.
Mm-hmm.
When I post on Instagram, it's a high quality video, high quality photo.
Mm-hmm.
I bring people into my personal life. Like I record my dogs, talking shit to my dogs. Like when I'm cooking, I record that. Like I want you to know that I'm just like you. You feel me? Before I try to sell you something, get to know me.
Let me, okay, I'm playing devil's advocate in this one though, Trizz.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you ever feel like some folks, do you ever feel like people might feel like if you're giving the message of I'm just like you, but the thing is high quality, they like, no, that ain't just like me. Cause again, my hairline trash today, and I'm watching you, and your shit like this shit look produced. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I'm saying if you do that, I'm saying, do you think that there's a disconnect where maybe somebody doesn't get that message if it does look too clean?
Well, yeah, well, I have to make sure it looks clean because y'all also coming to me for advice, and y'all also looking at me.
Gotta see the quality.
Y'all also, we just alike. Everybody's just alike when I'm saying like, nigga, we all bleed the same.
Sure.
But yeah, you gonna see me fresh and fly as fuck, and you gonna make sure that because that's why you fuck with me.
Yeah.
You feel me? That's why I am who I am.
Because if you now you got me thinking like, damn, I can't even go on camera unless my face.
No. Oh yeah, no.
Because if they like,
bro,
I ain't buying a CD from this dusty ass.
bro. I got a haircut, bro. I got a haircut yesterday. I was like, now I gotta go do this podcast. I'm finna.
That's crazy. Like I need to get in that mindset. Like I need to get in that mindset of like you do that. Like you're like, oh no, I'm finna be on camera. Like I need to go ahead and
be on camera. I got it.
I think it's because I've been on camera so much.
Yeah.
And I've had like good days, bad days.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's different. You know what I mean?
It ain't different. I need to get on my shit.
Yeah, no, straight up.
Be a good friend, Trizz. Come on, tell me, stop being on this camera looking like a damn bum, bro.
No, hell no.
Then I'm gonna just say it to myself, then, Curtis.
Yeah, no, I just
knock it off.
I'm very presentation is everything. Like, you know what I mean? Like me and you had talked about it on the episode 1. It's like, nigga, even when I'm going to Jack in the Box real quick, you know what I'm saying?
Somebody cannot wait to catch you lacking.
You know what I mean? You ain't gonna catch me lacking.
Put you on
feel
the
me?
camera
It's
like,
not
look
gonna
at
happen.
this nigga, bro. He look at Snickers and look at the shoes. Look, what are those? Look at the sweats. Look at the hair.
Yeah, so like even with like hygiene, like I like to make sure I smell good. I use coconut oil I gargle with coconut oil to get my coconut oil and
how?
Bro,
that shit is disgusting.
Bro, I got rid of a whole cavity because of coconut oil. You never heard of oil pulling?
You said you get rid of a cavity?
Yeah,
I'm dealing with one right now.
You ever heard of oil pulling?
Oil pulling?
Yes. I'm finna put you on game. Okay, check this out.
That shit sounds violent.
What it is you take organic coconut or what's almond oil, either coconut oil or almond oil.
Okay.
You gargle and swish it around your mouth for like 15-20 minutes. It's a long time.
You talking about the paste version of it?
No, or like I mean, yeah.
It's pasty, right? Like
yeah, but you can also like you could like put it in the microwave or set it out in the sun.
Oh, you talking about melted? Okay.
Make sure it's like liquid. Yeah, bro, I got rid of a whole cavity like that, and yeah, Google it. Like you swirl it around your mouth. You got to do it for like 2-3 weeks though. Every morning though, and look, look. Check it out.
Coconut. I'm gonna find almond oil.
Your breath don't be tart.
Mm-hmm.
It whitens your teeth.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? And it gets rid of a lot of bacteria. Damn. And that is a fact. You can look up oil pulling. Like a lot of dentists like try to like detest it because it works.
It's gonna put them out of business.
It put their ass out of business.
Yeah.
But like a real dentist will tell you like, no, it definitely is very, very effective, especially for somebody who don't have insurance and shit like that. Like, bro, I take all that type of shit into account. You know what I'm saying? But no, if you got like some,
that's crazy.
If you got some pain or whatever, man, go buy you some organic 100% coconut oil.
This is some really indie information. You ain't gonna get this from everywhere.
Yeah, no.
What you talking about?
Niggas game.
Look, come on. He got a question here. One more time from Saja. She says, before y'all go, Trizz, I saw you put your music on Gala.
Yeah.
I'm super into crypto. Wondering if it's a better route than just dropping music. What's the advantages?
A better route, I wouldn't say that's the term for it, but what I will say, it is a very good route. It's exclusivity, and if you're familiar with the NFT community, there is like perks and everything that comes with getting the music. And the way I drop on Gala is like I'll never release those songs to anybody else. Like there is a certain scarcity to it. It's like the songs that I drop with Gala, other artists don't do that on Gala, but I do it. It's like I'm never putting those songs on Spotify or, you know, Apple Music. Like, so if you have a song that I release from Gala, then you are 1 in 100. You know what I mean?
That's interesting.
Only 100 people, because I'll release 100. Like there's like 2 records that I released that only like 150 are available, or 100, but I never exceed 100.
Right.
150. So like I keep it keeps the if you want to like get into that type of world, I got into that world because there's some exclusivity between me and the fan. Like, damn,
and
like
that's gold.
In 20 years, somebody gonna be like,
I'm the only one.
I'm the only one
of 20 that got
yeah,
this.
you know what I mean? People die every day.
Yeah.
Like, nigga, you gonna be one of the motherfuckers that got it, and then like over time, it's gonna become something super, super valuable. And then I create perks with the release. So like, one of the perks with the release of one of the songs that I did with Gala is you get a signed hard copy of Baseline Cavi. Feel me? You get a sign, or you get a T-shirt, or you know what I mean, that comes with perks. So like, yes, drop. I wouldn't say it's a better way of releasing music. It's just it's an additional way. Yeah, it's an additional way. But yeah.
And I think that doesn't it come down one more time to there is not a one size fits all.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah.
This has been I'm gonna keep saying this, and I think we're gonna end on this note. But I keep saying this is that the independent artists out there, you don't gotta figure out what's gonna work for everybody to know if it's something that works. Yeah. You find that formula for you. You ain't gotta tell a soul.
Period.
Mission accomplished.
Period.
Go work that angle, go work that lane, and that is yours now.
Period.
But I think because we're in such a like community based of sharing, and I contributed to that for sure. Like because of the information I got, I would share it. I'd be like, man, nobody ever showed. We're in a place now where it's like, you just gotta figure out what works for you. Yeah. And it's gonna be hard work to figure out how simplistic it actually is. Yeah. When you get to it, like even me, like a lot of this shit makes sense where I'm like, of course, I record here, I export, I upload it, then I go downstairs and perform it. That's very simple.
Very simple, yeah.
But it took 20 years.
To get to this point.
To one, get to the point, but then two, to even recognize like that's a possibility. Yeah. And then also two, you got to realize sometimes we're early to shit as a society. And we're not even at a place where I couldn't do this 10 years ago. 20 years ago,
nah, straight up.
Internet wasn't as fast as what it was. Like it wasn't as accessible. Certain items, like even the cameras, I didn't have access to. Certain type of quality didn't exist. Like it's funny when you look at the first episodes of like the Joe Rogan podcast. Quality is trash compared to what he got now. The mics are like they're decent. So. There's a lot of stuff now where it's like, just figure out what works for you. When you figure that out, you may or may not want to tell us. It's not you gatekeeping. It's you, honestly. It's you. To me, it's not gatekeeping. It's you saying, because I care so much about this idea and I want to see it through, it is a disadvantage for me to share what I don't quite understand yet. And I think, like, for me, that's the place where I'm at. People don't think I'm gatekeeping. And maybe it is a form of gatekeeping, but as I figure this shit out with direct-to-consumer, I'll share what makes sense. And the thing is, I'll never not share because I think anybody's a threat. I'll not share because I'm like, I just don't know what it is for me yet. And if it's working, let me see how long this is going to work for.
Straight up.
And even when I do share it, don't take that as that's what we need to do. Stop the we shit. No more we shit. Like when artists come to me and say, what do we artists need to do at 2021? There is, first of all, stop saying we. There is you. There is your team. Because what worked for Trizz may or may not work for me, right? And what worked for me, like Trizz would be like, fuck that. I'm not doing it.
Straight up.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm realizing after 9 years of giving everything that I was learning, it didn't give me a lot of space to absorb what I was learning. And it didn't give me enough space to, like, try things for the sake of trying it. And even, too, bro, just... I don't think you understand how good it feels for me to send you off a song that I was working on. And nobody heard it except for you.
Yeah.
That's not a new concept.
Yeah,
You do that all the time.
Yeah.
It's been 9 years where it's like everything that I've recorded has been on one of these cameras.
Nah, straight up.
Now for the first time I'm making music and I'm like, this gets to be a moment again.
Yeah.
It's exclusive to me now. It's not the whole internet's responsibility. So, but yeah, I want to make sure I acknowledge some of this stuff in here. What was that? Blue Chip. What's good with you, Blue Chip? Said, it's okay to just shut and hold some stuff to yourself. Yeah. It's your human right. People don't know the depths you sent to get this knowledge.
That's a fact.
I'm with that.
That's a fact.
Gatekeeping is fine. KFC ain't sharing their secret sauce.
On the real.
Shout out to Haran.
Straight up.
You were not gatekeeping. Well, I appreciate the confirmation because I definitely am in a place where I love to share so much. I can have diarrhea of the mouth.
Yeah.
And I'll share it with people that sometimes I'll share information. I'm not talking about nobody here, but I'll share information with people who have a Uzi and don't know how to aim it.
Aim that motherfucker. Yeah.
I just gave somebody all kind of shit.
Yeah, and they don't even know how to use the game. Yeah, they don't even know how to use it.
And they saying, yeah, Curtis King top. I ain't touch you shit.
Yeah.
Somebody came the other day. They was like misquoting me and somebody, they learned that from me. No, the fuck you didn't.
Nah, for real, man.
What you learn that from?
Nah, straight up.
It's like poker. You gotta be you knowing the cards are holding. Yeah. Man, Trizz, what you working on first and foremost, or last, I should say? What you working on these days?
I got this new album that I'm working on with my boy Mike Summers, a follow-up to Baseline Cavity that we dropped in 2022.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm wrapping that up.
Come on,
I got up.
And then there's a project with Curtis King.
Oh yeah, you know we finna get in the lab.
That's
we finna
disrespectful.
start working.
How the hell I plan out one of your quarters of your year? Disrespectful. Don't let me disrupt nothing.
It's all good.
Nah, bro, I really do want to make that happen, man. Like it's long overdue, and then also too, like I don't want to be everybody producer this go around. Yeah, no, but I do want to work with certain artists. But I just know niggas is like, are you back?
Man.
Are you making music again?
Yeah.
I can't wait to work with you and sit you in that corner to be one of my producers.
Fuck out of here.
Fuck you. What you mean?
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is second episode, of course, of the Indie Podcast, the Really Indie Podcast. I hope y'all got good information from here. People be wanting the information, but it's a responsibility with having it. Yeah. That's what people don't know. That's a bar. It's true.
It's a responsibility. When you get it, when you get the ball, what you gonna do with it?
You know how many times I got good information at the bad time? Time? And people will be like, there's no such thing. No, there's a such thing.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Because like you give like imagine the younger version. I don't know how you was the younger version of me when I got some game and I knew it was game. Even if I didn't understand it, it was like, oh, I'm gonna put that shit in action tonight.
I'm gonna do it. Yeah,
and then I burn it out, and it's like, nigga, that's not what I told you to do.
It's not exactly what I told you to do.
So what I gotta do now? It's like, no, I can't even give you the information because you two on 1,000 right. Chill, chill.
Nah, straight up.
You're not like you're hearing me, but you're not listening.
Nah, straight up.
There it is. Well, Trizz, I appreciate you as always, bro. Man, you know, we'll do episode 3 in like June. You know,
these is gems. So whenever I think that's what's dope about the Really Indie Podcast is that they spontaneous and they just gonna pop up on you. And if you catch the gems and you catch it,
you catch it.
When you get the ball, what you gonna do with it?
Come on now. And as of right now, no sponsors, but I'm sure that's gonna change. They coming in. But it's really indie though, so it doesn't matter if it's there or not. Yeah. Hey, shout out to everybody who was in here and who was engaging. Now's I want to shout out Now's as well because he definitely was adding some great input. Saja definitely great input. Hey, Soul was good. Know better, do better. Thomas Davis had me cracking up. Yeah, wow. Pop was good. Frank the Tank. All right then, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. New content dropping tomorrow. If you are following either one of us, all the information is in the show notes down there below in the description. We are dropping new content tomorrow and Wednesday. We shot some stuff beforehand, and so there. Oh no, I'm sorry. I have to end off with this. One thing. For anybody out here, let me see if I can share this on the screen. For anybody out here that is very insecure about their age and what do you have to talk about at your age. Maybe you are in your 40s. Maybe you're approaching. Maybe you're even somebody who this shit always cracks me up.
I know what you've been a show.
You know what I'm supposed to.
Was it Little Brother?
No, I ain't Little Brother.
This
shit some left field shit. You
it's about some.
This some. I'm ending this show on some bullshit. I'm telling you right now.
Okay,
I'm just letting you know right now.
Okay,
because I seen this and I could not unsee it. This has been the funniest shit, and I haven't even heard the full project. But no disrespect to the legend. No disrespect to the legend known as Smokey Robinson.
No.
Smokey Robinson is 83 years old. First of all, round of applause for 83 years old. Right? In this music industry, that is a miracle in itself. Black man, 83 years old. But when I tell you the shit, so in the last stream I did, some of the subscribers did some research on this project. So Smokey Robinson has a project called Gasms.
What? And that's like some shit in the early
Gasms.
Days?
No, like
old?
recently, like it's last year.
It's up. Oh, that's new.
Gasms.
Oh, I seen this picture
6 months ago. Gasms.
I fuck with that nigga for dropping a new project.
First of all, yeah, round of applause.
Round of applause.
All right.
Yeah.
So he not saying what the hell I'm gonna talk about at 83 years old.
Straight up.
He said, I'm gonna talk about gasms.
Orgasms?
So the premise of the record was that this is the funniest part. He's supposedly not just talking about orgasms. He's talking about orgasms, eargasms. So a gasm is just something of some kind of sensation, right? But here's the title song. It's just called Gasms.
That is crazy.
Gasms is still an insane topic. I don't care. Like, we giving him props, but Gasms is out of control. It's so out of control, his wife and stepdaughter tried to convince him not to release this.
For real?
They was like, do your music, but like, don't do this. Don't go down this lane.
Gasms,
he was like, I'm gonna release Gasms whether they like it or not. I gotta get this off. And he got this off, and it's called Gasms. Imagine gasming to this. Come on, no, we're not imagining that. Okay, Reliant. That is crazy. But I love the fact that at 83, and some people gonna make the argument, well, he's a singer. It's different when you're a singer versus rapping. Like, there's a certain image you gotta. No, you get to create whatever the fuck experience you want it to be. The same way that he can say, I've created a sound that now adjusts to where I'm at in life. And whether, you know, I think it's the reason it's not called orgasm, because at 83, I don't know how you know, I don't really know how that machinery works.
I ain't mad at it.
Yeah, that shit
I
got
ain't
me.
mad at it. The fact that there's a new Smokey Robinson song in 2023.
That's insane.
That's insane.
But that, once again, to y'all out there who are like doubting, if you got something to talk about, if you don't go take that pen and speak to whatever emotions that you feel when somebody says, how do you feel about being this and doing this, speak to that. If I say this, if you can talk about your complaints, you can rap about them.
No, straight up.
If you can describe the things that you love to the people you love, you can rap about them. Especially if you have been doing this for 20-something years.
Gasms.
This crazy. You don't want to hear that track list. That's for another day. This nigga, this shit is edgy. But ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate y'all as always. Trizz, appreciate you. Hey, this is the Really Indie Podcast. Y'all already know what it is. Come on, man. All right, then, y'all. To the next one.